Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to the AfreecaTV Omega Strikers Invitational. It was myself and Spooked Alter that signed off of this cast 16 hours ago, and we're right back to kick it off again today for what should be an exciting day of Omega Strikers ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for this match. I believe our first match of the day is going to be one of the greatest matches of the day. No bias included in there because we are getting Demons Raw against Sad Boys. This rivalry between these two teams stretches far and wide, and it's known many lands.
Many events across the board. Last week, of course, Sad Boys got the best of Demons Raw in the North American Strikers League finale. And this time around, we'll see if the score is any different. But I am most curious to know what happens with the map picks. You'll remember in the Nassau finale last week, Atlas's Lab, Night Market, and Oni Village were the only three maps in play. Now, though, Inkies and Clarion are both potentially in play. And while I think Sad Boys will ban away Inkies, I have to imagine that Clarion might not get banned away, and we'll have to see whether or not that makes an appearance here on the new map. There it is, of course. These classic Sad Boys ban away Inkies. Couldn't have possibly seen that one going.
Yeah, I mean, the Inkies make sense, and we're going to see that unfortunate Clarion ban because that map is just so fun to watch and it's so fun to play, but it does seem that those both two newer maps are going to be gone out of rotation for this match. So we're left here for pick one, pick two in game three, potentially. It seems that they haven't quite decided yet exactly what they're going to decide here, but it seems the first match is going to be Atlas's Lab. Otherwise, the term is coined as Vaughn's Lab too, but we'll see how well that sticks up today. We'll have to see. Only one way to know. I mean, last time they did get the better end of the stick on this map, so maybe, who knows, maybe it's just more comfortable for the side of Sad Boys.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what the case is. Again, I'm curious to know whether or not this will be what happens in the potential inevitable grand finals match as well, with the Clarion ban from Demons Raw. Because again, this is the thing that could potentially be substituted in to mix up the map pool that I think a lot of analysts were coming into the day last week going, this map pool looks heavily favored and heavily skewed towards Sad Boys. They're known and they're very comfortable on Oni's Village, have been since the release of this game. And of course, Atlas's Lab, now coined Vaughn's Lab, and then Night Market thrown there in the middle. So it was the Sad Boys that elected to take Atlas's Lab game one, and then the order decided by Demons Raw. The remainder will be Night Market game two and Oni Village game three if needed. Of course, we say that the Sad Boys were incredibly comfortable on that Oni Village map. That is the map, of course, where Vaughn pulled out the Octavia and 3-0'd in that final game of Grand Finals last week. But this time around, it's still something where Gumi very comfortable to play, something like the eject button Kai goalie. It is certainly put on quite a showing on this map as well. So it is going to be dependent on what we see for starter awakenings there and things of the sort, but certainly plenty of comfortability and plenty of familiarity between these two teams in this rivalry.
Yeah, I mean, it seems that the first match is going to be Atlas's Lab, and of course, we always know that there's always a lot of more damage on that map, right? Because you have the extra damage from the black hole, you have another KO option because of all the big knockback it does when you get that boom. I mean, last time we got a really good clip of just it doing so much damage incarnate, and it's like it can happen again. And with these teams that know how to utilize it, know how to play in those small lanes, know when your opponents don't actually want the black hole to be popped, so you pop it instead. There's just so much things that can happen here, and it really is going to see what they've learned from last time they played against each other. New strategies going into it, new bans, as we definitely know. They like to play that eject button goalie because you just get so much more utility, you get so much more damage on the field, you get to go in there into their goal net, and Gumi's able to just make those plays that's not usually possible for a goalie without that tool.
We'll see what ends up coming out, of course. Neither one of these teams, typically have one composition that they stick with, right? There's a lot of flexibility that comes around dependent upon what we see on the starter awakening screen or what they even just feel is going to be best suited for the day-to-day. Though bear in mind, of course, that because this is the winners finals matchup and these two teams are expecting to face off against one another in grands as well, I can't imagine we're going to see all of those cards come out here on the table. If there's something that one of the teams teams are saving up for a little bit later. We've seen things like Kainoob not be afraid to go over to a midfield Kai, which of course has been rising in prevalence as of late, but again, not something that Kainoob is typically going over to. We saw Kainoob play that multiple times in multiple games over the course of the day yesterday. We'll see whether or not that comes out here against the very person that was known for the midfield Kai on Oni Village, being Vaughn, of course, there. So a lot of history coming into this matchup, but of course, Demons Raw are looking for their revenge here today.
Yeah, I mean, revenge is definitely what they're seeking here. This would just be a really good staple for them, and it seems that we're going to start getting into this game in a little bit here. And one thing I want to talk about is the bans. I mean, I think we're going to see maybe a little bit more hesitation to ban Octavia now after that performance. Not just in this game, but I've seen because of that game, it rippled through the ranked queues, the other matches. So definitely everyone knows now how dangerous Octavia can be, and I feel like something might change about her at some point in time. But we are going to get started here on Atlas's lab, and I'm curious to know what they're going to be choosing here, character-wise and ban-wise.
All a matter of time, of course, to see what comes through. But as you mentioned, it is very heavily going to be dependent, I think, on the starter awakenings. And apparently it's the Asher ban getting hovered by the Sad Boys. It'll get locked in here in just a moment. And Demons Raw will ban away Vaughn's Luna on Vaughn's lab. Probably the best call there.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense here. They're definitely trying to get them off their comfort picks, but we are seeing the Amy goalie come out from You Already Lose from Y'all, because it's been rising in popularity, and that eject goalie is just super strong nowadays, especially on Atlas's lab, where you can get that little bit of extra damage on them, and then you can jump in and make those plays. And it seems that Vaughn is going the Kai forward that he is definitely well known for, and we might see another Kai forward and a Vice goalie on the other side with a Zentaro forward. Definitely a lot of strong things here. And then, of course, Bell's on the comfortable Juliet pick.
So Kainoob indeed mirror matching Vaughn on this pick. It is Tempo Swing, Spark of Focus start with only Vaughn picking up the Spark of Focus. Everyone else going Tempo Swing, anticipating higher damage levels on both sides of the pitch. That's one thing that this Amy goalie can really do quite a bit for You Already Lose and the Sad Boys, is pump out a little bit of extra damage. So these two teams are going to be very close to damage potentials to one another, especially once you throw in things like that. Look at that already. Bells with one dash punch combination chops down to Snake 2/3 of what his health bar was there.
Yeah, I mean, the damage is just already stacking up. Bells is looking to stay alive here, kind of looking for the kill. Can't quite find it, but he does have the ball in the corner. Unfortunately, it's going to go through, but it's not quite able to get... There it is. The barrier comes down from the eject button. Goalie just so strong, and Bells pushing to get that last one. He's able to find it, almost finds himself KO'd, but he manages to stay alive now with open net. You Already Loses pushing up forward with that eject, but we're going to find a KO onto Bells, but it's going to slide right in from the Supernova. Looks like they didn't quite think the ball would land right there, but these things happen. They're warming up, okay? Everyone's here is a little bit, you know, they're tired from yesterday. They're just refreshing, so it's all okay.
It's a warm-up game, all right? Sometimes 2 p.m. is good morning, all right, on the West Coast. As we know, for Omega Strikers players, it might as well be like 10 in the morning for most Omega Strikers players, because everyone just tends to stay up late for fun. So give them some time to warm up. The Demons Raw Gambit tends to be the one where they lose the first set at least, and then of course can start bouncing back. We already see a KO there. Snake gets taken off of the pitch. Vaughn coming in. There's a beautifully done Thunderstruck from Gumi to hold that bottom barrier. Now the Supernova comes down as well, trying to buy as much time as possible, and the penalty will be killed. Bells looks for the KO. Can't find it there. Vaughn will collect the core, send it down, and now Kainoob gets the Energy Burst KO to send Vaughn off of the pitch. Oni's Blade uses Demon's Raw, tries to collect the core and have some level of possession, but really, something from the Sad Boys is always interrupting any possession that they tend to have. Now, Snake will get his revenge on Bells, bounces off the corner, You Already Lose core flip, sends it right down to the bottom side. Overtime now. Increased core speed. Wouldn't be surprised to see this one slip past someone. Vaughn, beautiful prediction with the Giga Blast. Again, interrupting possession from Demon's Raw. Snake down to the bottom corner with the slice and dice. Now rushing in, but again, not able to find the core. Off of the black hole, Gumi chops Vaughn's stagger bar down to about half. And again, These teams still try to feel each other out. It's good morning. Here's the Firewall Sentry, again buying more time. Now, drifts back to the bottom to that barrier. But a KO comes through. No! What an angle on that bounce. Goomy was hoping to move up and be a little bit more forward, but the angle will strike. That's the Demon angle against Demon's Raw.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, these teams are warming up. They tend to oversleep less, you know, every night, or not oversleep, overstay awake. And so now they're getting up here, and they're getting the groove on so far. I mean, they're able to get these barriers more comfortably than not, as we see here. They're able to get 2, so they're looking to hopefully able to make a comeback before the first set. But as you said before, it is the Demon's Rock Gambit to lose that first set to bolster yourself for the next ones. And we see here right now, it seems they're switching for a strategy of killing Y'all, as he is finding himself staggered, not quite able to stay alive here. Core Flip's going to come out, and it's going to shoot right on that Demon angle. Bells can't quite connect on it, and there's that first point.
I think a solid Giga Blast found a KO there as well against Vaughn, and so finally some level of pressure is going to mount here coming out of Demon's Raw. Worth noting, of course, that neither one of these teams really wants to lose this, right? Because as Daftgrass mentioned on the desk for the North American Strikers League, it is very rare for bracket resets to come alive, and that is exactly what the loser of this match would have to do. They'd have to win 2 best-of-3s in a row in order to become victorious. So this set kind of matters, right? Sure, warm-up, sure, maybe they didn't have the opportunity to get warm-up screens in, or, you know, 2 p.m. is good morning. You can joke about that all you want, but even still, you don't want to be in the position where you're already down. Technically, it's like a best-of-3 of matches, right? You don't want to be down in the best-of-3 early on, and you don't want to be down a set early on either. Bells will send it home with the energy burst to secure this one. And now we head on to our first Awakenings carousel, where things might start ramping up here a little more for the Sad Boys.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing already some strong Awakenings here, actually. We're just getting Quick Strike and Demolitionist and that Hot Shot. But Zentaro has 2 of Awakenings here you really have to watch out for, being that Super Surge in that perfect form here. So it's going to be really tough to say what people are taking. It seems that Kainu is going to be opting for a Stagger Awakening. That 350 Stagger is nothing to joke about. And, you know, it seems that they're taking away the perfect form, but it seems that they don't want to let Zentaro have the Super Surge. They're opting to let him get Spark. I didn't see that one coming, but... Or I guess it does make sense. I don't know. I was a little bit confused in my own head.
I mean, I don't know what else you take there if you're Snake. You don't want to take the prime time because your ability will hit weaker, right, on that primary, and that's not really what you want to do, especially in a damage composition, despite the fact that having it up more would be useful. And across the board, I mean, it does make sense. Obviously, Vaughn denying that, and Bale's picking up the perfect form for the extra cooldown reduction could play a very large role as we get later on. But now, Goal Gate's open again as Kainu gets taken off of the pitch. Snake looking to try to get a revenge kill on the Bells. Not able to find it there, and now Bells, perfectly placed punch, barely hits the core on the corner of the hitbox, and will send it home.
Yeah, I mean, one thing about that Snake I wasn't thinking about in the last draft is that they might be looking to get that Spark of Resilience to show up, because if they do, they'll have 2 Sparks, they'll have all that stagger, they won't be able to get KO'd, and they'll be able to do so much extra damage that it's just going to be super helpful here. So we're going to have to see if, of course, that means that they do have to take this set, but it seems that so far it's anybody's game as there is open nets on both sides.
Gumi needs the G Fuel to kick in. Normally, we talked, I genuinely think we talked about this on the North American Strikers League, or at least in chat or something. It takes about 30 minutes for Gumi's G Fuel to hit, which normally means that Game 1 goes the way of a Sad Boys-esque roster, and Gumi might kick in. Again, all a matter of warming up, but Sad Boys looking pretty good for themselves here in terms of their ability to execute and find some of these plays. Looking again, Vaughn will strike it up to the top side while Gumi's gone in too far on the Thunderstruck and Supernova. That's 1 barrier down. Snake low on stagger, goes in on the Oni's Blade, looks for a KO into Vaughn and finds it there. Off to the bottom side, tracking him across the entire pitch in order to find that KO. Gold barrier goes back the other way thanks to a strike from You Already Lose. And Kainu tries to collect the core on a blazing pace, trying to get it up to Snake, but you already lose. Brilliant done to win some of these strike wars. Now it gets sent over to the barrier, and it'll be found. Demon's Raw, an opportunity. Off the black hole, Kainu can't find the dribble with the barrage. Now has energy burst, will use it there. Snake not ready for the core. Gumi tries to send it towards the net with the supernova. But you already lose is ready for it and expecting. Bells can't find the KO there against Kainu, and now is stunned away with a Thunderstruck. Well done to layer the combo, one on top of another. Now looking for the shot is Snake forward. Can't find it there, interrupted. Vaughn now gets sent away in a large way. Has to retreat back for the barrier, and Kainu goes in for the shot. Yori lose energy burst. Now sends it up wisely to the top corner, baits out Snake's energy burst. Still an opportunity here, but pressure starting to mount the other way. Vaughn, about half stagger, now gets stunned by the Thunderstruck, sent away. And it means that the midfield pressure and the midfield interruption isn't there. Finally, Demon's Raw able to find another one, interrupting this drought.
Wow, what an incredible just back and forth between these two teams, but Demon's Raw is starting to get their footing in. Maybe Gumi took that G fuel a little bit earlier today. We'll have to see. But right now, it seems that Snake has just taken so much damage, but look at that. One orb and that Tempo Swing, and he's just back to full HP. He's already back and running, and Bells is not looking too healthy right now. You can always get an orb, but I think right now they're focused on the pressure because they have one barrier gone, looking to get the second one. And it seems right now, Kainu is not quite able to reach it because Vaughn is able to get that second barrier with that Giga Blast, making sure he can't strike it now. Forced to use that evade, and then Gumi comes in with the supernova, but it's going to cost the barrier to do that. We'll see right now if it's worth it as they're trying to convert here, but they have that extra core flip security.
Vaughn applies some pressure there with the barrage, committing Gumi's energy burst. Now Kainu will commit the barrage, finds this one. Yori lose, almost has energy burst, will have to use it there as Vaughn gets KO'd. But still possession to Demon's Raw. Snake rushing forward, Bells interrupts with a fiery flurry. Gumi tries to go in, but has to come back in time, and now mistimes the power chord. As Yordi lose will get credited for that goal. 2-0. Sad Boys are up in this one on Vaughn's lap.
Definitely a good lead that they want here because now it's 2 sets in, and that is a hard thing to come back from. The reverse sweep is possible, but it's just really difficult because now they have the choice of their awakenings. Like, they're able to get that Deadeye, and now they have to take, but they still have some good choices here, as we're going to see BD and Knife's Edge come out on the side of Demon's Raw.
Yeah. Knife's Edge gets stolen away there from Bells. And, of course, the belt different going to Snake means that Bells doesn't have a lot at his disposal to take. Sure, there were some things that he could have, but nothing really consistently reliable. So he instead opts to steal away the specialized trading from Kainu, who will be forced to take Chrono Boost, and Vaughn will take Castellas, both looking to enable a little bit more speed and a little bit more pace into the match overall. You see Vaughn go into that blazing pace. Almost finds the second barrier there, but Gumi has to jump back with the eject button. Now Vaughn and Kainu in the mirror match. Vaughn going to win the strike war. Giga Blast gets sent away, but Bells is going to get KO. That forward pressure is going to collapse. And suddenly, Demon's Raw have possession yet again. Vaughn interrupts things once more, kills the time down in the bottom corner. Allows for Bells to come back on. Now will they be able to find the offensive play that they want to, especially with Vaughn getting staggered here. Going to be difficult, but I want to talk about how long we've been playing, how much has been going on. You already lose at level 8. Kainu about to take over to level 8 as well. And we're only, what, four goals a set in or so. Oh my goodness, Kainu almost takes that himself, but you already lose. Able to find that energy burst just on the corner of the hitbox there as well. Snake low on stagger, tries to bully Vaughn away. Now Kainu will interrupt things with a barrage to put it back for the Demon's Raw.
To use that, Demon's Raw is starting to wake up a little bit. They're able to get the first point of the set, which is very good for them because now they have a little bit more momentum in their side here. As we see, they have a core flip on their side. They have 2 core flips on their side, actually. So hopefully getting these barriers here won't be too difficult, as we're seeing a lot of damage come out on the Bells, though. The core flip's going to be burned on just KOing him, and they're just keeping him out of the pitch, which is really smart to do because, it's Bells. He's really strong, and he's able to make the plays that you don't want him to be able to make on your team. But oh my god, Gumi just lost all his health to that Amy turn from that Deadeye.
And now, double barriers. Back down on the power play here. Snake rushes in, but Vaughn interrupts things once more. The blazing pace with the barrage finds the open net. Now is looking to put it back, but can't. Bells comes back online, and now immediately bullies Snake away with the specialized trading Fiery Flurry. Vaughn will set it up, and Bells will send it home. Well done there by the Sad Boys finding that play, especially Bells' quick thinking off of the respawn. That's something that you don't typically talk a lot about for Omega Strikers, but incredibly important, especially this high of a level, to identify what you want to do the second that you come back online out of that top corner.
Yeah, I mean, respawning here is just super huge because sometimes your teammates aren't, or not your teammates, your opponents aren't quite looking at exactly when you're coming up, and the ball will sometimes be right there where you want it to be, and you can make that quick play that they're just not expecting. I mean, you always just have to do what you can to get back in that pitch, but it seems we're going to be getting a KO here on the side of Vaughn, who's going to find himself KO'd, and a barrier, two barriers going to be found for Demon's Raw, trying to get the third. Kainoob has the flip, Umi has the flip, they're in the net, quite find the right timing to get it down. Here comes the first flip, and it's going to go right to Snake, who's able to put it in for their second point. Now, set is in, they're trying to get this through. They almost have their first set here, which is going to be really big for them, because then they're going to be able to get those awakenings that they want. We still haven't seen a lot of the sparks in play, so there's a lot they can still do here, and it seems Demon's Raw is definitely trying their best to win this set. They're doing what they can as they're already able to get one barrier, almost get the second, force out the core flip. Super close to this. We're going to see how it's going to happen, but they do have two core flips on the field, so a lot can happen on their side with pressure.
You could write an entire 10-minute YouTube video on the first 20 seconds of this rally alone, with every individual player's thought process and decision making to either hold a barrier or trying to target something or something of the sort. That's the level that these players are playing at as we continue ramping up over the course of the day. But now with Bells getting KO'd, Demon's Raw had an opportunity to make a power play happen there. Couldn't quite. But Vaughn will strike into the first barrier. Looking forward for Bells. Not quite in position to capitalize, and now finds himself getting KO'd. Thanks to Kainoob's Giga Blast. Snake starts to get bullied away here as well. Not really a passing lane open for Kainoob, just sitting down in this bottom corner. Here where he lose another fantastic energy burst. The get out of jail free card gets him out of there, and now Bells almost finds yet another KO, but actually this time it's Snake getting sent away off of the pitch. On the top side, Kainoob once again on the blazing pace. Vaughn tries to keep up. Doesn't quite have the same level of speed, having Chrono Boost instead of Cast the Last, and now Kainoob will get KO'd. Here we go again. Now Snake's turn. Staggers Bells. This power play might not go exactly the way they want, but now finally will find the barrier. Vaughn looking for it here. Up to the corner. Bells not quite there in time. Can't find the angle to put it back. Cyber swipe through. Trying to find this pass over to Bells. Bells had virtually zero stagger, but somehow still is not knocked back. You already lose yet another energy burst to save and send it away. Zooming back down to the bottom side. Now KO comes through. Bells take it off the pitch. Snake maybe next to follow as well here. Glitch Pop comes through. Snake goes elusive. Now rushes in and sends that strike to the top corner. Beautifully played from Snake to take the first set for Demon's Raw.
What an incredible set for them. I mean, Kainoob just knew that he could dedicate those abilities because he could trust in his partner, Snake, in order to get that in with that nice redirect there out of his, his EI rush. Super well done. And now we're starting to see more sparks as we're getting two in this rotation, but we're also seeing more stagger awakenings, which is just super huge to take here. I mean, we got Beak, we have Big Fish. I mean, Heavy Impact. This is just a really crazy awakening draft.
What do you think Kainoob is thinking here for the Big Fish on the Kai? Maybe, in theory, he gets more likelihood at winning Strike Wars because he's got blazing pace speed. Also, probably wants to steal that away from the Juliet, but also Fight or Flight was right there. And that one actually didn't get picked up by anyone in that last Awakenings carousel. Vaughn will pick up the second spark. The Big Fish first pick shocked me.
Yeah, it definitely is quite shocking. One thing that I do think makes a little bit more sense than that is that we're seeing on the side of Vaughn denying that Spark of Resilience from Snake because you cannot let him have that with Tempo Swing. It's just too strong.
You mentioned that earlier, so good pickup here by Vaughn. But in the event that this goes to another set, will be Demon's Raw getting first pick with the final Spark Awakening online, so... or wait, no, all four Sparks have made an appearance because two were in the last one. I can count, I can do that. Apparently, seeing a lot of math happen here too, as some more KOs get added to the scoreboard. And there it is again. Beautiful collapse onto the play. And the vice goalie sitting in the back can do nothing except watch themselves get KO'd into the own net with Bells and Vaughn coming through.
What an insane collapse on their side. They're just showing that they are not out of this by any means just because they got one set. They are still out here showing what they can do. They are the sad boys for a reason now. As, you know, right here, we're seeing Vaughn take a ton of damage. They're going to drop one barrier. He wins the strike war, though, so that they don't have to deal with that instant pressure, but it is going to come back now. As they're trying to beat it through, they're going to be able to find a KO. They're not quite able to find the barriers. Y'all is just holding it down. He's a little bit sad about that one, but they will have more opportunities here. As we're seeing the Amy turn's going to come out, trying to block it. Supernova also comes out. Both goalies using their ultimates, trying to just, you know, keep it away or score it in right here. As we're seeing the Corflip's going to come out on that edge. Snake's going to be able to pressure it through. Vaughn is finding himself KO'd. And now it seems that it's right there, but they're not quite able to because Y'all is staying calm, staying collected, able to just make sure that that is not going into his net.
If you're Caleb there, you have to go for that play, hoping to try to keep it out. And that time, he does indeed squeak it out there between Snake and Kainu. Couldn't find the goal, but now Kainu on the blazing pace in pursuit of the goal, in pursuit of the core, I should say. But overtime has gone back. Now, specials exchanged. Barrage out. Bell's looking for the shot towards that barrier. Can't find it. Here comes Vaughn coming back in. Slip right past him. Now Kainu, bin, energy burst. You already lose. Also uses his. There's the slice and dice from Snake in order to collect the core and send it back.
Yeah, definitely well played. I mean, both teams here are clearly up and running. You know, whatever they needed to do to wake up, it has been done. They are both awake. They're playing really extremely well here. And we're now, the black hole is going to be bursted immediately. Probably want a little bit more open space because the pressure is a little bit more on their side. As we're seeing here, there's all this pressure. So many names, can't quite see what's going on here, but it does seem they were able to get it out. Bells is trying to stay alive here. Vaughn keeping the ball, trying to push it forward. He's so close to having that energy burst, trying to see what he can do with it, make a play happen. The turn's going to come out. Bells is staggered. They're trying to get this. They can't quite find anything. It's just so difficult here with all these amazing players playing. You know what you said about that essay? You could definitely do that about almost any of these points.
I'm saying 10-minute video essay on a single point from this game would be very easy to achieve. And we wish that we could break it down in that level of depth for you, but alas, you'll have to go back through the VOD in order to do that. Or maybe we'll do a content series or something. Stay tuned for that. Black hole explodes, takes Bells off the pitch. Giga Blast forward here. Firewall Sentry will hold the line for this goal barrier. Barrage is exchanged. We're in overtime now. Gumi leaps in on the Supernova. Can't find much value there. Vaughn sent away. About to get sent off of the pitch. Retreats back for the goal orb. Now has to dodge away from Kainu's barrage. Still getting bullied around. Sent back down to the corner. Here's the fiery flurry coming out. Snake low on stagger in the corner. Bells can't finish off the KO. It is still getting bullied away. Has to show the respect over to the Zentaro here, but worth noting that virtually no energy has been built up on many of these forwards. They don't even have the dodges in order to survive. As Vaughn finally gets taken off of the pitch. Firewall Sentry out yet again. Here it is, up to the top corner from You Already Lose. Trying to just buy time. The goal barrier will fall, finally, for Demon's Claw. There's another KO. Kainu going on a 4 KO streak. Gumi leaps in, tries to commit the energy burst for the play, but can't find the core. Kainu on the dribble. Here's the barrage, sends it up the corner. Vaughn still able to strike it away, but Kainu will maintain possession and feed it right over to Snake, who bites. Set point once more for Demon's Raw. They're looking to send us to a set 5 in the first game of the day.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing right here that, like, this team there, they were keeping their goalie away. I mean, Gumi didn't quite kill them with that energy burst, but they were, in fact, able to keep them away from the goal. But it seems that they've copied that strategy a little bit because now their own goalie, Gumi, is finding himself off the table right here, trying to stay alive here, trying to keep the barriers up, but it's just too much pressure in their net. But we're also finding another KO onto Snake from the black hole. Both teams have lost their barriers, though. Corvum's going to come out from Y'all, trying to just secure it in. Vaughn already in that top corner with Barrage, but it's not enough because Bells is there to hit that in. When you think you have one clear angle, you have none. Now we are on set point / match point of this game here.
Sad boys. Looking to take the first game over Demon's Raw. Looking to prove that last weekend was not a fluke. They can do it again, and they will. barriers both taken within the first 10 seconds here for the Sad Boys, but Snake will slip past Vaughn to find the first on the opposing side. Bells has Energy Burst, will use it here, takes it away and steals it away from the Odie's Blade of Snake. Will retreat for a moment and then strike it to the bottom corner. Well done, quick thinking. Sad Boys take Vaughn's lab, perhaps unsurprisingly, to the tune of 3-1. Next up, though, we've got Night Market.
What an intense game here. Well-earned MVP from y'all. I feel like there's a lot of things that he had to hold it down through that were just seemingly impossible or slim to none odds, and he was able to make it work here, and he also had a lot of, that goal participation with 3 goals, 3 assists. He's definitely showing that he's in the net with 42,000 damage also on the board here. So much damage, so many redirects. What an incredible game he was playing.
To that point, normally it's Gumi, the one that we, compliment for being hyper-aggressive, but Yordi Luz can do just as much damage on something like this Aimi, both in terms of the actual amount of damage he's doing, but also in terms of getting those goals, getting those assists, being able to blink forward and help out with the rest of the team. And that's something that's sometimes hard to notice unless you are specifically looking for it in some of these games, just how involved those goalies can be. But certainly held it down quite well there, did Yordi Luz, and getting involved, contributing even to that last goal there with the firewall century and everything out forward and aggressive. So hats off there, of course. Now we'll see what change-ups happen as we look forward here to Night Market, because this one, I don't know, Spooked. Obviously, both these teams are going to be comfortable on anything they play, right? But across the board, it feels like Demons Raw, even with a composition that they pulled out yesterday, where they ended up going ex-Juliet with an era goalie that they had, having so much speed, so much of an ability to try to do that. We'll see if it's repeatable here as we head into the next game. Of course, though, going to be largely dependent on what we see in these starter awakenings and what bans we see coming through.
Yeah, I mean, it seems that we're hovering the Dubu pick, which is just such a solid pick on Night Market, because you get to just close off one lane almost entirely for a good amount of time if you're able to get that timeless. But we're seeing a Finny ban, not quite something I was expecting. An Amy ban, maybe we're seeing a timeless or a Monu?
Probably a timeless or a monumental start, maybe even an extra special or something, but certainly bans targeted towards both of the goalies. The Finny ban is also not incredibly surprising. We have seen Gumi go over to that on occasion for Demons Raw. And wait a minute, is this the same comp? Or are they going to lock in a different goalie here? We'll see what it is. Yeah, it's the same comp.
Let's
okay. Go. Demons Raw have come to play. Here's a card on the table that they showed us a little bit of yesterday. They're looking to find repeated success versus the Sad Boys here. Missile Propulsion Peak Performance is the start here in actuality. So interesting to see those bans come through, but this is exactly what Demons Raw played yesterday on this map, and they'll be looking to do the same here. All about that speed game.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of the speed game, we have Peak Performance as a starting awakening that it seems most of these people are going to take, except Vaughn, who took the Missile Propulsion. So definitely a lot more speed is going to be going on in this game and a lot more stagger, so finding those KOs might be a little bit harder at the start, especially without any damage awakenings other than Vaughn having that missile prop.
Barriers, though, getting taken by Sad Boys first. And that's the other thing here, too, is that the X era, normally when we talk about it in the forward midfield, tends to be a scaling composition, right? Tends to be something where it is not uncommon to see reverse sweeps occur with these strikers. I have to imagine that's going to be even truer here on a start where you didn't see Castellas or Chrono Boost come on for the starter awakenings. So it'll be something where I think if the Sad Boys want to close it out, they're going to need to play nearly perfectly the first 3 sets to try to close this one out quickly. Otherwise, things could get out of hand. Snake, though, going to get strike first in the first goal here for Demons Raw.
I mean, yeah, but like what we've seen last time with this comp, they seem to be doing so well early on as well, which is just so surprising because these are scaling-based characters, scaling-based comps. if they're able to be this strong this early, how scary could they be in a 2-set lead? It's just so much nightmare fuel. That makes it, if you get that last set somehow, and now you're in 1 set, you're still not looking too good here because they just scale even harder. So as we're seeing right now, tons of damage is going to come out, and a dash punch though counteracts almost all of it, as we're seeing here. Snake able to get 1 barrier out of this power play. Core flip's going to come out, but it's going to be blocked by Gumi, who's all the way up in that midfield line, able to just make his presence shown, and Snake right there is able to get that last barrier. They lose 1 in the process, but a 2-for-1 deal is pretty good if you ask me, and Snake is able to make that a 3-for-1 as he's able to sneak that ball in, get that shot in, and that's going to be a 2-point lead for the Demons Raw.
Great work there. In order to put it back again, and sometimes it's all a matter of being able to find ways to collapse around the goal, right? You already lose. We have seen time and time again, able to hold it, looks for these angles, might be able to, pretty consistently is able to find really solid clears, but sometimes it gets to be too much. Speaking of getting to be too much, Gumi couldn't find the corner, it bounces back, and Sandboy's looking to maintain possession here. Energy burst, Bells sends it back with a punch, and now, again, goal gate's open. Will they be able to find the core to the net? Kainoob on the bull rush. Can't find the core. They'll bounce around the middle of Night Market. Crater comes through, looking to try to send this core out of this corner. Jordy Luz picks up the speed boost. Bells in the corner, finds the dribble, finds the punch, and finds the KO. So those sorts of plays we're going to need to see come online much more often for the Sad Boys. Finding, and especially finding a lot of these KOs, making sure that it's impossible for this era to beat someone to a strike war.
Yeah, but like right here as we're seeing the strike war, and Kainoob is able to win his, get both barriers here. Now they're in a really good situation. They have to throw out this Tofu Fortress to make Bells have such a good opportunity to get both, but it's going to be blocked expertly by a nice strike from Gumi. Now as we're seeing here, Yal has the core flip, might need to burn it, but he has Vaughn there too for a little bit of extra protection, extra padding. As we're seeing here, he's going to fly in, trying to get that barrier, not quite able to find anything. Both teams here in sort of a stalemate. But we are seeing a lot more damage on the side of Bells here, so with that power play coming in, maybe the tides might shift, who knows, but the dash punch almost ends Kainoob, but he's able to manage to get away from that. Now, as the core flips are super about to come online, you know, who can really say what's going to happen here? Core flip, Vaughn dribbling up, makes the play, gets the barrier now, drops the Crater Maker, trying to make something happen. Snake with the core flips, able to get this past the Tofu Fortress. Will they be able to do anything else beyond this? Core flip from Kainoob is going to be blocked by core flip from Vaughn. Now as we're in the net, something's trying to happen. They're trying to get it through. Core flip from You Already Lose, and Vaughn rushing forward, trying to make something happen, going along with it. And now it seems Snake is in the goal net, going to kill the goalie now as they are trying to make something happen here. They have the goalie gone. The power play of the century is able to be had. They're trying to make the passes happen. It's going to Kainoob. Kainoob has it. The X Maximus comes out, but he's not quite able to get it because Vaughn is also such good in that goalie box, and the power play is over.
The month spent on the goalie training from Vaughn, and the quick adaptation to be able to switch from playing midfield to playing goalie instead, covering for You Already Lose. Not only one time before he got KO'd, but also then during. Able to win that strike war. Very familiar with Kainoob's game on this X. Now we'll dodge away the Maelstrom. And this rally has gone on for an incredibly long time. Here comes Kainoob again, and now the Crater comes through. Gumi wasn't anticipating the timing of that Crater, and that'll send it back. Vaughn, cheeky little goal. He knows he got away with one there, but he'll take it nonetheless.
I mean, you take what you can get sometimes, and right now, they kind of need that because now it is matched up on this sets here, and now they're trying to push it in. They're able to get 2 of the barriers. They're trying to get it through, but they're not quite able to find it. That core flip isn't just what they needed, but they still have one on the side of Gumi, and Sad Boys has none, so they have to be able to hold out, have to understand that they are going to be able to pressure with that last core flip here, as we're going to see one barrier drops, though. They're trying to make a play happen. Bells has the core flip, might need to burn it to get a KO or to just stay alive at this point because they're just staggering him. And now they have the play. They're trying to make something happen. Bells dribbling up. Core flip's going to come out from both sides here. Now they're trying to get it through. Doesn't seem it's quite able to find it. Bells finds himself KO'd, and now Demons Roar have a power play.
That's the X lore for you right there. Take him to the X train, Kainoob. Looking for the goal, can't fight it there. Snake tries to collect the core. Vaughn low on Stagger this time. Almost sent away with Snake's energy burst, but now we'll find the crater. Snake's the one low on Stagger as well this time. Core goes back to the corner. Kainoob is here. Tofu Fortress will do the trick for now. So we see Snake get KO'd. You already lose. Has to commit the energy burst there. Realizes before it's too late. Now sent down to the bottom side. Bells comes up just shy of the barrier again, and Gumi still holding this one here. Rollout log tries to get it back, but oh no! It appears as though Kainoob has disconnected from the game. Of course, Sad Boys have the opportunity to finish out this point. But we'll see what happens as this one. Hopefully Kainoob can come on back as soon as possible. But right now, Snake and Gumi still holding the line on this barrier, by the way. They'll just take the 2v3. Still not able to find it, or the Sad Boys. Bells dives in. Can't find the point. Looking for it again. Hasn't committed the energy burst for it. Now we'll try to KO Snake. Kainoob back online. And the hold has been made from Demons Raw. The energy burst was not committed from Bells to look for the core. Now they'll finally find the barrier. Snake low on Stagger, but it's Bells getting KO'd. To the respawn back in Kainoob. Energy burst, exchange. Kainoobs will strike towards the net, but you already lose is ready for it. Bewitching beam out. Kainoob sends it up to the top corner for the perfect angle there. He was out of the game for 30 seconds, and he still scores the goal. That's the MVP performance we're looking for.
Wow. I mean, can we talk about the fact that their teammate left? They were almost getting KO'd. They weren't just able to save that, that goal from going in, but save that barrier as well? How insane for it to hold out for 30 seconds, longer than a normal KO by a long shot, and they're able to just hold that on and be able to make that happen and enable him to come back and make that powerful play. What an insane play from Demons. That's something you want to see. That has to be a little disheartening to see on Sad Boys because they were gone a member.
That is, dare I say, not a sponsor, by the way, but that's the G Fuel difference for Gumi. As now comes away with this one, and now double barriers already taken here by Demons Raw. Gumi so far forward, looking to apply additional pressure on these momentum boots. Tofu Fortress will get used to try to alleviate some of it, but still possession maintained from Demons Raw. Snake tries to get it forward, but a rollout log will interrupt it. Now you already lose, sends it down to Vaughn, who's in perfect position to receive a pass there. Dropped back into the goal box. Looking for that one in the perfect clear angle. You already lose, doesn't feel comfortable clearing it down that way because Kainoob is quickly closing in, but Vaughn's there again. Now looking for the strike war versus Gumi, but of course he's got the energy burst. Snake sends one towards the net. Got checked for you already lose. We'll still find the hold. We still haven't gotten the chance to talk about this Awakenings carousel, and I'm sure we'll get to it in a moment, but this is the caliber of players we're dealing with here. Goal barrier taken. Power play now, though, for Demons Raw. Kainoob with the energy burst. There's the Flutterfly speed coming out here. There's the Bull Rush. You already lose. Can't collect the core on the energy burst. Crater out. As Bells comes back in off the respawn and now bounces around quite a bit. Snake finds the angle to send it back. All right, Spooked. What stands out to you from the last Awakenings carousel?
I mean, Vaughn getting that hot shot is super nice. Gumi able to get the fly or flight means that he gets to move around just so much when he strikes that core. I mean, he's already king of speed as it is, but now he just has even more, and you already lose. Getting that extra special means more Tofu Fortresses. Now, I wanted to hurry that up as much as possible because this game is just too exciting to try to go away from the action for too long.
Awakening Shawakenings. And that's what I've been saying. Who needs those? It's not like they're the most important factor of the game or anything. We'll see who's actually able to come across with the conversion here as Demons Raw looks strong in this third point, of course. If Demons Raw takes this game, we're heading to a Game 3 on Oni Village where they will most likely ban the Octavia if it's a Chrono Boost start. Have to say. Barriers open both sides. Snake's got the energy burst, starting to close in on it. Now tries to commit it for the core, but can't find it. Fiery Flurry out. Crater looks to keep possession for Demons Raw and send it forward to Bells, but now it's Snake getting KO'd by what appeared to be the Tofu Fortress if you already lose. Kainoob with the speed, gets bullied away by Bells, now continues to close in on the core, but Gumi so far forward can't save it. Out of the net. You already lose, credited with another goal.
I mean, those things happen. When you're playing such an aggressive goalie, these plays are just going to happen sometimes. I mean, they got a good KO, and you tried to capitalize on it by staying as much forward as possible, pretending like you have 2 forwards, but sometimes if they get past that, which a team like Sad Boys will get past that eventually, you know, you're going to find yourself without that goalie in the net, but it's not an issue, I think, for Demon's Raw, because they were coming into this game fully aware of what can happen, and we almost see a KO, but we do see a KO reversal on the Kainu. Vaughn wanted that KO so bad, wasn't quite able to find it. Kainu showing him how it's done, and now here's the core. Is going a little bit backwards, but it's now back in possession. They have the power play opportunity. Bills has the core flip. I need to burn it. There it is. Comes back out, gets one barrier. Can't quite find the second one, though, which is thankful for them now, but Vaughn is going to rush in with an emo and get that second one. Core flip's going to come out, but it's going to be blocked by Bells, who's able to secure that in. Now they have 2 points in this set.
Beautiful plays there from Bells in order to secure that. And almost came up with the double barrier shot, too. How hype would that have been if he flips it from his own goal box and finds the bounce to get both barriers in that small little thing? Yes, folks, it is possible. It is not just something of legends. He almost did there, but then right place, right time. Denies the core flip, reads the bounces in the corner, and collects it now on the dribble, looking to take this one home. Fiery Flurry will find the barrier, now dribbling again. Now will be shrunken and will still put it back. Bells once again putting on the performance we know him for. Ring 'em, folks. Ding, ding, ding.
And now we get a moment to actually talk about this Awakening draft here. We see that we have a lot of damage awakenings. We have tempo, we have 1-2 punch. We also have some stagger. We have big fish, reverb, but Vaughn gets access to specialized or deadeye here. Will he take either? Not quite sure. There is the deadeye op. And now it does seem Kainu, or not Kainu. Is it Kainu playing X? It is Kainu. That is just, I guess my brain wasn't used to it, but he gets value out of this new spec training that he's finding.
1-2 punch will fall all the way down to Snake here, as Bells will pick up the big fish as well. My brain can't comprehend what 5-level draft strategies Sad Boys are on, so we'll see if it works. Maybe Bells was looking for the 200 extra stagger for a little bit extra speed on peak performance, which could be useful, but who knows? Across the board, very difficult decisions need to be made there, especially when you consider, that Deadeye incredibly strong on the Luna, but then do you want to deny the specialized trading? Nonetheless, we see a KO, but the hold comes through for the Sad Boys. Although we start to see Energy Burst coming online momentarily. Gumi has his, Kainu about to have his, Bells pretty close as well. We'll likely be looking for it in a moment. One committed here, but Bells will stuff it with the Fiery Flurry. It'll still get away, and here comes the Maelstrom swimming up the top side of the pitch. Kainu up the Snake. You already lose one in the Strike War, and Vaughn tries to get up to Bells, but it's not there in time. Bells all the way back, has the speed boost from the Night Market middle, and now you already lose. Clears it down to the bottom side. Gumi starts to collapse on this, and now it gets sent away. The holds still happen here for the Sad Boys. Kainu tries to punch it back with the X Maximus, and finally gets it into a position for Snake to strike it. Well done there to find it. Again, it's all about how long they can continue mounting this pressure for, how long they can extend things to bait out these cooldowns from the Sad Boys.
I mean, that dribble from Kainu was just quite incredible. He was able to make a shot. They knew he didn't have quick strike, so he couldn't quite strike it yet, but then that X Maximus kicked in, refreshing his strike, and that specialized training making the core go red, was able to shoot it where they just weren't quite expecting it to. Seems they're able to make quite a play off of that, but they're also making quite a play right now as they're able to get 2 barriers, but Bells returns that with the assistance of Vaughn. The core flip comes out, trying to secure this in. The punch is coming out, but it's not quite enough now, as they're able to return the ball out. Snake trying to make a play with that speed from the middle gate here. Not quite enough, though. The ball's going to go around the world, trying to make it. Goes, finds his hand in Snake against You Already Lose. Not quite able to get it. He also has the core flip, a little bit of extra assistance. Well, that is going to come out right now. Now, as we're trying to get it through here, Kainu 1 tick away from getting this core flip of his own. Now, trying to get the ball in. Bull Rush comes out, trying to get it through. It seems that they have a lot of pressure over here, but Dash Punch is going to miss. And that is going to mean that the pressure is on for the side of Demon's Raw. The core flip comes out, and it's going to be good. That shot goes all the way through, and that's able to land them 2 points in this set.
Bells wishes he had that one back. So close there on committing all of those abilities and having that crater behind you, but well done flip from Kainu to find the angle at the midfield line, and again, these players will exploit any weakness possible in an enemy defense in order to secure that goal. But now Bells picks up the KO here against Kainu. Power play opportunity for the Sad Boys. Haven't said that one in a while. As they look to maintain possession, Crater comes out here. Hasn't hit the barrier. They're still just able to hold the line. And this Maelstrom sweeps down to the bottom side, buying a little bit more space. Kainu comes back online and now wins an interaction versus You Already Lose to at least get one barrier. Bells the dribble once again. The dash punch will come up just short. We'll just put it on a platter to Gumi. We'll send it back. Snake gets sent away. Now is going to be the target of even more. Still has one dodge available to him. Now looking for the KO against You Already Lose. Doesn't find it there. Tofu Fortress comes out, sends the core 9 ways to Sunday. And it will be the thing that keeps the points and keeps the set alive for the Sad Boys.
I mean, you know, y'all staying alive there, which is super important there, because he was able to stay alive from that dash punch. He was able to stay up just enough so that he wouldn't get KO'd. And then he was able to go forward and put that Tofu Fortress right where he needed to, but it seems that his team doesn't need that Tofu Fortress this time because they've learned the algorithm that they need to do, and now they're able to get that point in super fast, get both barriers, and now we're seeing an even match up top on the scoreboard here. It's anyone's game really still.
I think, too, that was a whammy from Vaughn, that primary, which now, of course, has Missile Prop, Hotshot, Deadeye. Very weak Luna build in general, but still has to put on even more because there's just so much speed coming in from this Demon's Raw composition. The second that Gumi's got this Flutterfly online, you've got 2 brawlers in your face, and look at that. Make the transition right back up to the other side of the pitch. You Already Lose has to try to scramble to take care of both barriers, but won't hold either of them. Open goal gates now for Demon's Raw, as the same goes for the Sad Boys. Core flip used out of Snake, buys a little bit more time. Shot towards the net, comes up just shy, and Bells gets KO'd. Kainub has the energy burst again, keeps the dribble. Now since it's the top corner right where Snake is, Demon's Raw picks up the set.
Wow, what an insane point to pick off from them. I mean, they need this. Now they get to scale super hard, as we're going to be seeing here. Quick Strikes is going to come online. We have Egoist for more speed. Gotta maybe deny that Twin Drive from the Luna, though. There's just so much here. There's stacks on stacks. There's Stagger Swagger. Seems that he is going to opt for the Quick Strikes, because that is just super good.
Quick Strikes coming through for Kainu. But now, we'll see what else is. The Twin Drive came up here. You see that for Vaughn as well. And so hopefully looking to interrupt plays even more, right? Consider that, because especially when we're talking about all of this speed that is coming out of the Demon's Raw composition, especially even more so now that Gumi was able to find aerials in that last draft as well. Hopefully there can be more interruptions. Hopefully there can be something that sets the pace and flips it on its head to the favor of the Sad Boys. Otherwise, we might be sent to Oni's Village for Game 3.
Yeah, I mean, right now, as we're seeing here, the points, this one's a little bit slower, which I wasn't expecting with all that speed in the draft, but maybe, you know, you go so fast, it becomes slow kind of deal. And now, what we're seeing here is Vaughn's trying to convert, trying to get this last barrier here. They're really fighting hard for midfield. Bells is in the optimal position, but the Witching Beam makes him too small to actually make that play. The Tofu Fortress isn't quite enough, as it's just going to squeak by it, and now that's going to lead to both barriers dropping. Kind of has the core flip, moves in there, trying to core flip it. Yep, there it is. Trying to get it to the Snake, who now also has his core flip and a KO onto Bells. The core flip's going to come out from the Snake, and it's going to go right through with that dash punch in for the first point of what could potentially be the last set of this game.
Well done in order to find that one. And again, at this high of a level, you take those energy bursts and the lineup with the movement ability for granted. Right? You're like, oh yeah, okay, the Juliet has the Flying Phoenix up, has the energy burst. Just flip it and send it into the net. But that is a strategy and something that has to be learned. As you continue going through here, Kainu takes an energy burst, tries to send it to the bottom corner. He already loses ready, doesn't need the energy burst quite yet. Snake still trying to bully Vaughn away on the top side of the map and buy some space for himself. Now Vaughn goes into the boost. There was an angle there for Snake. Couldn't find it this time. Now, Bellringer comes around, Bull Rush comes through as well, and Kainoob will activate the X Maximus to secure the KO onto Bells. Now they're bullying Vaughn away as the Maelstrom comes through the top side of the map. You already lose, uses the somersault to buy enough time, and now Vaughn has got to get right in the middle of everybody. But has to be incredibly careful here once more. But the whammy will connect onto Kainoob. Here's the boost, back down to the bottom corner. Bells is trying to secure this goal barrier, but the Crater will send it away from him for a moment. Looks for the dribble, can't find it there. It's Vaughn's turn to get KO'd. You already lose, has to buy some time, trying to kill time on this power play, but there's the flip and punch. Snake will put Demons Raw on game point.
What an incredible point from them. I mean, they get KO'd, and usually you think, oh, a power play onto a goalie like Era that doesn't have much defensive tools, what are you going to do? Because this was the point I made last time, that Era just isn't the defensive goalie. They are very offensive, help their teammates move forward, but when it comes back, that ball coming on their side, there's not a lot that they have in power, but Gumi was able to act like he's actually just a character meant for goalieing, as we're seeing here, able to defend both of these barriers against Tofu Fortress and so many abilities. And now, as we're seeing here, Vaughn is able to take one, though, showing that he is quite the player. You know, he's able to fly and make that play, but it seems that they're punishing him for that as they're able to almost get the KO on him. Stagger bars are looking really low. Both teams have lost one barrier here, trying to make a play. Vaughn's trying to stay alive, running away from the X Maximus and the Juliet, but what can you do? That's just two brawlers. That's not a lot you really could do from that.
One barrier apiece on both sides. Demons Raw want to try to secure it here, and they're about to have free energy burst available to do so. Maelstrom comes through, KOs You Already Lose. And the power play gets extended, looking for another KO with Snake there, but couldn't find it versus Vaughn. Bells now has a little bit of extra speed here, tries to come through on this Egoist, but can't find the core flip. Now looks for the strike, but Gumi's still there in time with a Flutterfly speed, and Demons Raw will take the barrier on the other side of the map. Goal gates open here. Snake in pursuit. Can't find it. Vaughn on the boost. Still sent away by Gumi. And here we are. As another KO comes through. It's another power play for Demons Raw. Gets it around the Tofu Fortress. Snake tries to come up here. Back down to the bottom corner. You already lose. Sends it up to the top side. Buys himself a little bit more space. And now Bells is back online. Vaughn low on stagger. Boosts in. Finds it into the corner. Now Bells in pursuit. Has got the Flying Phoenix to send it back. Hold on to your hats. Here we go again, folks. It's the Sad Boys 1-2-1-2 comfort zone. We found it again.
I mean, this is quite the position to find yourself in. I mean, it does take quite the calm-headed team and the team with the know-how to able to be in this position and think, yeah, we got this in the bag. So we're going to see here if they truly do. The Maelstrom's going to come out, just moving You Already Lose out of the way, and they're able to get the double barrier from that core flip in the net. KO, and that's going to be the game. That was not their comfort zone. That was the Demons Raw's gambit, losing that first set, able to make the play here, and now they are able to get that game. And now it seems we're going on our way to Oni Village with a MVP from Kainoob. Well earned.
I don't know whether or not the Sad Boys saw that composition coming. I feel like they had to, because they have to figure they're going to be playing up against this team at some point. They have to have seen it at some point, whether it had been in in-houses and scrims, leaks between combos and messages or something of the sort. But the comp still comes through, allowed to get played here, and you think it doesn't work, right? You sit there on your head and you go, an Era goalie doesn't work. Right? It can't really actually send anything away. It can't actually buy space reliably or reasonably. And double brawler doesn't work because you're going to lose control of the core so often. But instead, compared all together for the same reason that X plus Era is a strong composition, the double brawler plus Era is still a strong enough composition as long as it's in this coordinated team environment. Please, folks, do not go into your solo queue games and try playing Era goalie. It will not go as well as it is going for Gumi right now. But across the board, this is a composition and something that Demons Raw have appeared to perfect on this map, and now have bought themselves a Game 3 on Oni's Village, the run back here from that Grand Finals North American Strikers League finale. We'll see whether or not they can close it out this time.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, it is the run back, and it seems here it's like when you go back in time and you want to remake what one mistake that you made that caused the butterfly effect to ripple down and for everything to go wrong. And it seems that might just be that Octavia ban here on that Chrono Awakening. And I would imagine if fate so decides it, we will see a Chrono or Castellas starting Awakening, and we will see that ban.
How poetic is that? Actually, it's not quite poetic yet, of course, because it would only be more poetic if it was in the grand finals match instead of the winners finals match. But even still, it would be incredibly funny to see a Chrono Boost starting Awakening here. John Odyssey, if you're listening right now, give us the laugh once. Just give us the laugh once. The Octavia's gonna get banned anyway, right? But just give us the laugh. It'd be funny. Come on. You know you want to do it.
I mean, it is all in the whim of fate here, but I mean, we have seen like 3 Inkies games back to back before we had our whole map selection. So if we can see that, we can see a Oni Village Chrono again.
Ugh.
We can make it, we can manifest it here and now. What we're gonna be hoping for. Hopefully this game can get started underway, but I can just only imagine that we're still getting that ban, whether or not, because it might just be a little bit of a sore spot for the side of Demon's Draw.
We'll see what ends up happening here. As this comes through, we will be getting into game in just a moment. Also, by the way, we didn't read the stats screen much at all. Last game, Gumi, 101 saves on the era. He held it down on a character that normally doesn't hold it down, but able to find the benefit for the team there, of course. Kainub as well, 3 goals, 6 assists. That's the league MVP, but now we're on Oni Village. We'll see whether or not there's an Octavia ban here, and then we'll see what the starter awakening is. It would be funny. It would be funny.
It would be extremely funny. I mean, I want to talk about Gumi holding it down. He didn't just hold it down, but he was saving barriers when his teammates disconnected. That was just such an incredible situation to see happen with 30 seconds. Asher Dubu ban. It seems we're getting more defensive bans, trying to make y'all a little bit less comfortable, but Kai is super just good on this map, and it seems that they're trying to get this era of their own on the side of Vaughn, and it seems we're seeing a perfect mirror match, actually.
Whoa. The mirror on Oni Village here, assuming that it's going to be the way we expect. Yeah, indeed. Comes through. That explains why it's a prime time Spark of Agility start, which means the Juliet could potentially look to pick up those awakenings later on down the line. And then, of course, the prime time, beautiful for the Bewitching Beam and the barrages on both these Kais and Eras. So we're locked into a mirror match, which means that the first couple of Awakenings carousels could be incredibly important. And it's really just a roll of a dice on whether or not you're actually going to get the really best in-slot Awakenings that we're looking for here. What are some of those, Spooks, to give us a preview?
Well, the goalies are going to want a chrono boost, right? You get so much more speed. Both arrows want to cast last. I mean, and then Julie's a brawler. She wants all the brawling awakenings that you can get. Tempo swing, all the sparks for extra stack. You want the size increases without that impact, heavy impact, you know, all those type of things here. But one thing I just wanted to point out is this is a quite literal perfect, and I mean perfect mirror match. They chose the same goalie gear, same forward gear, same for awakenings on it. It's just a perfect mirror match, meaning this server set, what we're going to be seeing here is quite literally just who is playing their positions and using their abilities and their cooldowns slightly better than their opponents because they are the same.
And then it'll start to fall apart, of course, once the awakenings carousels come in. But this is a treat, folks. Dead even playing ground here. It will be the Sad Boys to put the first goal back, as that Maelstrom gets used the second that Vaughn seems to take over to level 2. Activated and sweeps through the map, buying that space for the core to follow in.
I mean, we're seeing one barrier drop on the bottom side here, where I guess that's their top side, which is a little bit better for Gumi here. They're trying to always make sure to get that top barrier first on them, so that way, you know, you have that bottom barrier taken from them because the sides are flipped around. And you always want that because it's a little bit less comfortable for most people to defend that top one. But it seems right now they're, you know, y'all is able to hold both of them, and it is Oni Village, so it's a little bit more of a drawn-out match because it's just the core is moving so fast. No one can actually get up to it and make those dribble plays that you can normally see. But we're gonna see that top barrier drop on the side of Sad Boys now. It is a tied game. Both teams are comfortable having their bottom barrier secured, but the core flip's gonna come out blocking that core flip, which means that that barrier is gonna drop here now. And it's going to be so hard for them to make a play on this core. They're trying to pass it through. They're going to find the KO, And now it seems that with that gone off the field, it's going to be anyone's game here. The dribbling up, trying to make a play. Corpulent's going to come out from Vaughn, and then Bells is able to secure it in with the firing flurry.
Beautiful pass from Vaughn out of the energy burst there to send it right up to Bells, who was there. I want to talk about the mental gymnastics, though, that had to take place to get that barrier. Goomy, energy burst, then you see the punch come out first of Bells. The second after, when it's available, you see the core flip used from Bells. And then finally the strike comes through to secure it to the barrier. The amount of decisions that need to be made in the blink of an eye versus a player you have experience doing this with or against time and time again is just incredible. Looking for at this point, we are talking about looking for mix-up options or things of the sort too. And you see these energy bursts get committed time and time again, mostly defensively, in order to keep possession of the core above all else. But now, goal gates open. Yordi Lou starts to get a little more comfortable. Snake takes the shot down to the bottom barrier, but it goes just around. Bells on the dribble, interrupted by the barrage. Here's Vaughn on the Bewitching Beam as well. Tries to send it back down to Bells, but with Bells getting shrunk, he won't be able to collect the core very much at all. Kainu once again with the Bewitching Beam. We'll be saying that a lot with the amount of shrinks and size increases that'll come through over the course of this game. Giga Blast gets used, sends it back, but Sandboys maintain possession, passing play, looking for it, and now maintaining possession is you already lose. Fantastically played there, and the largest thing to watch out for is that triangle. All three paths were open back and forth around the map for the Sad Boys. They'll pick up a 3-0 mirror match first set as we head to this first Awakenings carousel with Castellast on 9 in Bells' first pick. Oh no!
I mean, yeah, that is just a little bit rough because now they're going to have an option, to deny that Castellast. Now Goomy has that. It does seem we have a little bit of a disconnect here, but we might see them come back. Yep, the rejoin is not short-lived, and now we might not be able to get their choice of Awakenings, though. They're going to get stuck with that perfect form or that hot shot, depending on what Julie takes. So they are forced to get that hot shot.
Unfortunate there, perhaps, for Kainu again. Apparently internet difficulties, but now hold this thought for a moment. This barrier is taken and a goal goes in within the first 6 seconds. I can't even collect my thoughts and the goal goes back. Really?
Just so quick, and I guess Snake was a little bit upset that they lost that set, and they had to come in and let their frustration out by immediately going in and securing that goal. Now they're up 1 point in the set. I don't even know what happened there. I blinked and I missed it, but this time I'll be sure to keep my eyes peeled as we're going to see the bottom barrier drop on the side of Demon's Raw, that being their top barrier, so it's not too bad of a worry for them, kind of able to Bewitching Beam their bottom barrier. A little bit more prevalent there as we're going to see maybe the Corpulent's going to come out from Snake, trying to get it through here. The Corpulent's going to come out with the punch, but it's not quite enough to get that ball through as Y'all is able to hold it down now. Vaughn dribbling it up, trying to give a shot to Bells here, but kind of is there to just interrupt it, stop it at any point in time. Pass to Goomy with that eject button, can't quite make the play because Y'all is just holding it down through everything as we're seeing here, but that punch from Snake is going to equal, it's going to go through, but an equalizer punch from Bells means that it's open net for anybody here.
Butterfly speed out. Vaughn will send it up to Bells. Now collected himself the Bewitching Beam. Here comes Caleb and on the Blazing Pace, looking for Bells in the bottom corner. Can't do it there. Snake tries to take it himself, but he already loses. Ready for it. To strike away. Giga Blast won't find the net. We're in overtime now on Oni Village. Stuffed out by the fiery flurry, but Gumi's ready. Makes the adjustment in order to save it. Vaughn dribbling in the midfield, sends it up to Bells. Gets knocked back from the Giga Blast. Now Kaidu will steal the core. Almost gets it over to Snake. But it's not. Can't quite find the timing there. Vaughn strikes it back to the barrage if you already lose. And now Snake in position. Finds the KO there. Against you already lose. And that dance that Snake and you already lose had there for such a long time finally pays out for Snake, finding the KO, and perhaps Demons Raw about to respond with a 3-0 of their own here.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say that Snake with that perfect one was able to use that dash punch and have it back so quickly, which was just super cool to see here, as it's, showing that the cooldown is also really heavily important on this map here because they are just the same characters, but not the same Awakenings anymore. But we're going to see a KO come out from Bells with the core flip now. Kainoob in that goalie box on the Era. Can't quite do what Gumi was doing last time, but he is able to at least make sure that that ball does not go in his net. No barriers though, but as Gumi's just coming back on the nick of time, able to hold it down, pushing forward with that eject button. Now Kainoob's able to get more in his comfortable position of that midfield right here, trying to make a play here. Seems that Kainoob was able to get the ball a little bit away from them, but that dash punch is going to come through with that Era Maelstrom. That tiny one was able to block it out. What an amazing stop from Kainoob, as we're seeing here. They're just trying to stop this forward pressure, but there's just so much in their net, but they are holding it down. Gumi's on his last legs here, but it seems that what they were doing was just enough to get that barrier. The Corp's going to come out blocked by the barrage. Now, as we're trying to see here, it's open net on both sides, and the dash punch is going to come through, which is a 3-0 of their own. They are showing that just because it's Oni Village, just because it's Sad Boys, you know, a little bit more comfortable, doesn't mean that the Demons are out by any means necessary, and they show that they have the power. And now that Snake is on the MVP of this awakening, we're going to see maybe a Demolitionist take here, which is super strong to get all those cooldowns, especially if you already have perfect form.
Demolitionist will likely be the play on a 2-barrier map, and indeed, it will get picked up here first, but it does leave that chrono boost over to Vaughn here, who gets that picked up. The extended, buff efficiency here going to be impactful. You see the twin drive, though, picked up for Kainoob. Again, more Flutterfly, but what did I just see picked up? Spark of Focus goes all the way down to Bells. He is running for mayoral election here with 3 sparks as his only awakenings, with the first of which being speed. He's going to be all over the map and is just looking for one more.
Yeah, these sparks are just already in his favor, and he's already able to just go so fast because that spark of speed is just so nice, and if he's able to get that spark of strength, the KOs are just going to be unstoppable. Unfortunately, he can't get all that tied up with tempo swing, but I don't think that matters if he's able to get all 4 sparks and become mayor, because it's just such a strong combo, as we're going to see right now here. He's just so fast, able to go in, able to make those plays that he wants to play, but Gumi is able to hold it down here as they're able to crunch this barrier out. Now, with Snake trying to get that KO onto, y'all, but not quite able to find it. Gumi all the way up there without the eject button. He's making the play because he knows that Kainoob is able to run back, make the defensive plays that are possible to make here. Oh my god, the core flip comes out, that corner shot, that's going to be good for 1-0. Are they trying to just have this game be only 3-0 sets? We're going to have to see here if the Demon's Rot is able to counter that, because so far, both sides here have gotten 2 3-0s.
Each trying to make statements. You want to talk about poeticism here. It'd be very poetic if it went 3-0, 0-3, 3-0, 0-3, and then 2-2, with it coming down to the final 5th point. But who knows what'll end up happening here. All we do know is that right now, Bells is looking for that last spark, but even though he's looking for that last spark, there are also these other stagger awakenings that could provide him benefits, given by the fact that he's got 3 sparks, plus that spark of resilience. So even though we might only have 1 in 3 odds for a set in the future that the Sad Boys end up winning, or at least first up, maybe he doesn't even need the extra spark, because you see that come through. Finds the KO, is on a 6 KO streak now, and he'll find the barrier himself. Now Bewitching Beam. Gumi gonna win the strike war to send it away, but Bells is right there back. Has that extra speed in order to keep possession of the core. Speed is king on Oni Village, and Bells has got just enough of it on this Juliet.
Yeah, that speed is king here, as we're seeing here. So much plays are happening, and Snake was doing his best to stay alive, but look at all the damage they're just putting onto him because they know he's dangerous with that demo, but both barriers are going to drop. Both of them are holding hands, getting that orb awakening, trying to stay alive. Not awakening, just that orb, just trying to stay alive. And now, as we're seeing here, both barriers are going to drop on both sides here. Gumi has that little bit core flip of extra insurance, but he's going to move up, maybe use it as an offensive tool here. Core flip into Snake, not quite able to get it through because y'all has the core flip of his own. Now Vaughn moving up with his own core flip, trying to get it through. There's the core flip, there's the Maelstrom cooking up, making a play, able to take out Gumi and get that 3-0 set of their own as a Returnal. Wow.
Gumi was trying to do everything in his power to make sure that the goal went back the other way, but took the double-edged sword against him. Tried to go in too far, and there it is. The 1 in 3 odds ring true for Bells. Ring those victory bells now, because he's won election for mayor of Sparkington City. Does it even matter what the rest of the Awakenings Carousel has in store? Spooked, let's be real. He's
I
got 4
mean,
sparks.
I don't even know what there is to talk about that could be as impactful as getting that 4th and final spark here. I know so far this game has gone 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, or 3-0, 0-3, 3-0, but I think we're not going to be able to see that right here because you have all 4 sparks on Bells. Getting all of that on someone as, you know, as prominent as him in this league is just so crazy, and it's just going to be so hard to see what they're able to do to stop it. I think their only goal is going to be able to just keep him shrunk with kind of, you know, man marking him.
Even still, look at how much speed he has. With all 4 sparks, enough speed gets boosted up even more when Vaughn happens to have that Chrono Boost Flutterfly online. For an increased effect and a slightly increased duration as well. Second barrier taken. Snake looking to keep possession, but to lose it on the Flutterfly. Gumi going in, has to blink back on the eject button. Bells now, once again, tries to collect. Doesn't have quick strikes, though, so can't quite perform stronger dribbling plays, especially when you've got so much power to your name. And here comes the Fiery Flurry. Tries to get away from Snake. Get him out of the goal box. You already lose. Able to angle the barrage quite well, but Snake will strike first up in that top corner.
Wow, what an intense volley. They have to play so scary because now Bells is now the win condition here with all of that, you know, abilities that are at his disposal. And even if they lose this set, he can get another awakening that scales off of anything that he has because he has everything.
I don't even recall what's left, frankly, for Bells to take, but nearly anything he could take would only be a boon on top of everything. Fiery Flurry comes out here, tries to collect the core, now sends it up to the top side. Bells' energy burst here as well, but so do both Kainub and Gumi. But Snake is still looking to try to perform. Trying to show that he doesn't need 4 sparks to be successful on the other side of the pitch. This player that tends to be overlooked on the Demons Raw roster now has to step up in a major way. Has the energy burst, still gets sent away by Vaughn. And now bullied away. There's a full stagger nearly combination with the Dash Punch Burst combo out of Bells. Finds the goal barrier on the other side of the pitch. In overtime now, Vaughn finds it with the Bewitching Beam. Finally a 1-1 score line in a set spooked. As the Sad Boys are looking to run away.
Yeah, it seems that no team is able to take their 3-0 or 0-3 here because now the game is looking a little bit more like an Omega Strikers game as we're seeing here. Both teams have a point, and it seems that Gumi has taken that top barrier now, trying to get something else cooking here. It seems that Bells, though, is just moving forward, able to get that bottom barrier now that they have that. It seems like it's such a close match here. I mean, what can you do here? There's just so much happening. Kainub seems to really just be man-marking Bells, making sure he can't get away with anything that he wants to do. Corporal's going to come out from Y'all as that Maelstrom is just too close for comfort, but Snake is finding himself KO'd by that new Spark of Strength. He's just too strong. What can he do?
8 KO streak now for Bells. That was started well before he won election, but now is still continuing to roll. Vaughn to the bottom corner, passes over to You Already Lose in the blazing pace. Now Bells finds the KO against Gumi. It's the Sad Boys that are on match point.
I mean, this is just such a tough situation to be in. You really have to play perfect here, not just because you're at this match point, but because Bells is able to be everywhere with all that speed he gets from just himself and from his era, that you got to maybe deny that Chrono Boost. Maybe that was the play you had to make, but there's no going back now. You can only play the game you're in, and now we're going to see one barrier drop. Trying to keep it forward, get the second barrier here. The dash punch comes through. They're trying to make this play happen. Gumi makes a mistake, and the barrier's going to drop here. Will that cost them? We're going to only be able to find out if Snake is able to get... He's not quite able to land that core flip here. It seems now that Bells is trying to push forward, has the advantage here because he has Vaughn to help keep that ball to him. The dash punch is going to come through, and that's going to be game for Sad Boys. It's not quite over for Demons because they can run through losers and make it back here, but winning that reversal is going to be so hard. And I think that last set, they may have gotten just a little bit nervous because they made 2 mistakes that were just so small, but against a team like the Sad Boys, they're going to make the most out of that. and it's going to come back to bite you, and it's going to be really hard to come back.
Ding, ding, ding. Bells will help the Sad Boys get to that point. 9 KOs over the course of that game. I think maybe only getting out once. And the planets happened to align. He got a starter Spark Awakening, and in 2 of the sets that came up, he happened to be MVP, was able to first pick a Spark, and the 6th one wasn't denied away from him in an earlier carousel. Even if he has 3 Sparks, right, you figure that's still a plenty strong build. But across the board, this is the kind of thing that the Sand Boys are so good at, is they are so good at analyzing a game state and trying to identify a win condition. In this case, it was Bells becoming the mayor, or at least getting 3 of those Sparks available, right? In other cases, it's other sorts of things, identifying a win condition with the cards that they're dealt, rather than actually coming through with a strategy, an oppressive strategy like you saw Demons Raw do on Night Market in that second game. And that sets up for an incredibly interesting potential Grand Finals rematch, Spooked, if we see these 2 teams square off again.
Yeah, I mean, we know that they have that rivalry, so we are all honestly hoping for that rematch because that's what we want to see. That's what everyone likes to see, and that's what the demons, want to see for sure because they don't want to go out like this again where they got on so close but so far on that Oni Village game, but something happens where it just snowballs in the direction of Sad Boys because, as you said, they're able to just be so comfortable on that pick of picking out their win conditions and making the most happen out of it.
But first, Demons Raw have to go up against the 3rd best team this weekend. And that is the Bozo Bunch, who has put on an impressive performance coming from close to the bottom of the North American Strikers Academy League standings, with a lot to prove this weekend. And they'll be seeing just how far they can push Demons Raw. Don't go anywhere, folks. The AfreecaTV Omega Strikers Invitational continues with Demons Raw going up against their challenger today, the Bozo Bunch.
Hello everyone, we're back with the AfreecaTV Omega Strikers Invitational. We're here in the losers final where the up-and-coming Bozo Bunch have top 3'd an S-tier tournament.
Insane. The fact that they are here in this tournament, taking the names that they have taken, is beyond words, really. It's the fact that they've gotten here, it's like their actions are all that they need to show for it.
Wait, what? Oh no.
Oh no? It seems like we might be having...
So apparently the picks were Night Market Inky's Atlas Lab. They opted to switch Inky's and Night Market, but they said so like super last minute, but the game I think canceled properly, so we're good.
Yeah, no, I think you're good. Okay.
Inky Splash Zone.
By the way, folks, we are going to Inky's. We are going to Inky's Splash Zone in this match between the Bozo Bunch and Demons Ra, who we just saw with a tough loss to the Sad Boys. They're going to bounce back. They're going to try and defend themselves against this up-and-coming team on the wacky water world that is Inky's.
Wacky water world is right, and I just realized the sides are switched as well. They were really in a rush to get this game going because Forgot has to go in 20 minutes. Forgot must leave. So not just the underdog. They are facing quite possibly the worst in-slot situation because the last series went to 3 games.
Ooh, okay. And they're deciding to ban away Snake's Juliet. Makes sense, especially on this map where some of the it's a lot easier to get KO'd. I'll just put it like that.
Yeah, but a surprisingly solid pick on this map is of course Octavia, and I'm a known pilot of it. And basically, this map, if you ignore the water cannon, it's a wide open map. It's a massive map with one barrier where Octavia gets to play as long as you don't get water cannon.
Yeah. And as long as you don't get KO'd off of the 45 or the water cannon exits. Because that is usually a safe spot, but not on this map where that wood is a place that you can get shut down. We have going here, first game in the losers finals between Demon's Raw and the Bozo Bunch. As we've got a pretty even Stevens match here. Snake decided to opt for the Asher, deciding to use that stuffing potential, especially up on these sides, really good. But the Octavia Rasmus combo, not something that you would think would do particularly well in such an open field, considering their lack of range, but they seem to be piloting it just fine.
Yeah, and a lot of it does have to do with the Kai goalie from Forgot, right? The ability to move up, the ability to position like that, having to use the cooldowns against the snipe of Kai and Gumi on the Kai goalie as well, walks all the way up, shoves in the goal. This is the Demon Splash Zone after all.
Is that what they call it in the West Court? It might be. That was exactly the kind of play that we've been seeing from Gumi, also up on Oni Village last game that we saw him. He's just so fearless on this Kai, easily using that blazing pace to just move all the way up, get into a stuffing situation at the top of the arena, and get a pretty clean goal barrier, especially when you have to match the other Kai, right? It's very easy to have that third player up there trying to put in another set of abilities to get that goal barrier.
Yeah, and they're really trying to get this barrier out from Gumi, but look at that, the Egoist flips are available for the Demons. The crossfire is there, and Dropletto has no chance at saving that one as Snake just shoves it in. And despite the Bozo Bunch, the Miracle Run, all the way here past so many top teams, this has been the most stacked, tournament, not league, but most stacked tournament since the Omega Strikers Pro League Invitational. And we are here with a team like the Bozo Bunch. They weren't even in the North American Strikers League. They were middle of the pack in NASA, the Tier 2 league. They're top 3ing an event. Their names are alongside the Demons and the Sad Boys, but they're going to have to step it up even more if they're going to take a game here.
Right. They took some great teams to very deep sets. And speaking of deep, I really forgot was a little deep in his goal box there. That's going to be a point for Demons Raw, winning the set. Going to turn it to a clean 3-0 here on their home turf. Snake, obviously, with the MVP there. Let's see what the draft has to show for it. Oh, that's a lot of good options for this Asher, right? Fight or flight, reverb, tempo swing, all good.
Yeah, he opts for the tempo swing here, but importantly, there's too much to deny from the Octavia, right? This Octavia will get something at the end of the day, whether it's a spark, whether it's a twin drive, whether it's the reverb, and will choose that spark scaling, because we've seen this so many times. The Octavia players team going down 2 sets and then the miraculous scaling kicking in, the reverse sweep. It is definitely a possibility here.
You have to see if it comes to fruition, see if the Bozo Bunch can hang on as they scale for late game. Even against the team that is so good at scaling, that is Demons Raw. They get a good goal barrier here, though. Open up the cannon, fire away. Not going to find anything quite yet. Good defensive formation from Demons Raw.
Yeah, good patient passes from the Bozos. The barrage goes in, but Gumi will still manage to defend it. Dropletto with a strike war against 2 will not be the victor, and Forgot is the one who is taken out on the top side. Snake a little bit faster on this push, but the primary from I will slow the Asher down for now. Dropletto now dribbling in the midfield, has the water cannon, 2 assists, has the primary, and that's certified Inky's moment with precision. The Bozo Bunch are not uncomfortable on this map, as they were the ones who kind of wanted to pick it against other teams too.
That is more than impressive, quite honestly. The dribbling from Dropletto to turn that play around, keep everybody on their toes, and then as soon as they started wavering, just toppled them backwards and got a knockout punch. That was so clean and great coordination from the team, from that player. Oh, a Giga Blast. That's so dangerous. You can't be sitting there up on that side, but Gumi is up here in the goal box. Forgot. And easily just gets a quick goal barrier and then a flip shot. That was very disgusting, if I'm honest. And that's because of the Egoist start. We didn't talk about starting awakenings.
Yeah, Egoist or Sparks were the starts, and Gumi just displaying that you can't let go of the core control for even a moment against a team like the Demons. They send it back up to Snake, and Snake gets the last strike. Dropletto did not expect that level of reach coming in from the Asher. What What a play on the top side.
That was quite honestly one of the craziest strikes I've seen in a long time, because it looked like it was completely outside of Snake's hitbox there. Sometimes the area can be a little bit deceptive for sure, but that was crazy. That firing of the cannon did not end up getting them anything though, Saya.
Yeah, it's a little tough. Dropletto does have flip, but it's blocked away by the last shots of the barrage. I now pushing in with Dropletto, and the secondary will do it. We're setting up a 0.5 situation here. Sorry, still reminded of the set 5s of yesterday. Not nearly as much today, but this could be one, especially since Forgot has meter. This early core flip, if possible, especially defensive insurance, but no, does not pull the trigger, lose the barrier early, and the demons are so advanced in the situation when they could activate the water cannon. Dropletto accidentally sends it backwards, and Forgot is just stunned up after the flip. Oh, it just all goes downhill in a moment for the Bozos.
And that was a very good opportunity. You saw them get a couple of nice openings, but a Giga Blast and then a couple of quick misses, and that's all it took for the Demons to capitalize, to pounce. There is a spark of agility on the field, and it does not get denied from this Octavia, who now has a third spark, one of which is agility. Instead, the quick strikes going over to Kainoob, denying it from the Octavia here. Built Different and Big Fish get awarded to both the other players on the Bozo bunch. And that's going to be Knife's Edge on this Asher, who's been loving that top side and is going to get a lot more power and a lot more of being of a nuisance to try and get these goal barriers.
Everyone has incredibly powerful builds at the moment. Two players on Bozos picking up size, but Kainoob has the fight or flight, and the quick strike is a striking machine. Despite the spark scaling from I think that is the much more favorable build here. Even though I is forcing hard denials, especially on the Spark of Resilience, it's Spark of Resilience that's coming up next, right? And people are fine taking it alone.
Very true. Oh, and the specialized training that just got picked up from Gumi is going to be an absolute monster. Deciding to just completely turn things around there and get Dropletto off the field. Finally back online. Wait a minute. Of course, sliding in there from Gumi. Did not catch that one.
Yeah, Gumi expending all of the cooldowns on the earlier play. Finding a moment, finding a shot to the bottom side. And important to note, this is I's potential and probably last tournament with the Bozo bunch. This is the final time these three Bozos will play together. This is the last dance of I. They have made it this far. They don't want it to end now. They want the miracle run to continue, but that flip means both water cannons. Wait, Snake is dead.
The water cannon took Snake away as they thought they were going to get their own one popped up there. Instead, getting a nice turnaround. I had a good opportunity there, centered in the goal box, but no dice. Dropletto is going to have to try and take it himself, and Forgot is scrambling to try and get this eject button in the right spot. Snake barely does not find that stuff, and I somehow drops the base and gets the core all the way to the other side of the field. Finally, all of a sudden, Kainoob is dead, and there's a flow state online. It's just Gumi versus Dropletto and I in the corner, and he saves it still! Finally, the Bozos take that one, but my goodness, did it take an insane amount of effort, a huge amount of work.
But if they can get this point, that effort could be rewarded. The faithful could be rewarded here because the Octavia scaling, look at that, the Chrono Boost, I believe, is still on the table, right? If they win this set, if they hyperscale, if they get the last spark even, so many options for this Octavia to take over this game because I has already been doing so much, but it will not be easy. Kainoob in the corner, it goes to the Bozo bunch, and Magic, this offense, it's just so hard to get past Gumi. Wait a second, no!
Oh, it's so hard to get past Gumi, but they can do it. The Bozos are for real. A flip shot does not land, and Snake does not end up finding that primary, and the Arc Beam does not end up landing. Forgot. This is why it's so important for them to play with this player. This goalie is just simply one of a kind. Finally, that goal barrier goes down, Saya.
Uh-oh, Dropletto passing it back. I getting control. It goes to Dropletto again in front of the net. Has a secondary available. Mixing up Gumi to the top side. They dared to do it against the King of the West, and they did not miss.
I has had some insane cross-up shots and gets rewarded at the top of the draft with the Chrono Boost. There's no chance to deny it, and Spark of Resilience didn't even show up yet, so there's still the opportunity for them to get it on the next one. This is insane. There's a lot of good awakenings here, though, right? I mean, the aerials for Kai, Asher is going to get either Monumentos or Timeless or Stagger Swagger to stay alive even longer. The missile propulsion pickup for Forgot means that it's going to be even better range and core control for this team. And I don't know how you stop this machine that is I.
This last draft has catapulted the Bozo Bunch into a winning position. The stacks on Dropletto, the Chrono Boost on I, and as long as I can just dodge enough of this damage, taking way too much of it right now, but as long as they can stay alive, this is just incredibly winning for them. But the Demons are still the undefeated regular season team in all of North American Strikers League history. Season 1 and Season 2 for a reason. They are continuing to hold on, continuing to look for the KO, but Forgot is holding down the barrier.
And that's because Kainoob ended up picking up Prize Fighter on this last draft. And so that's going to mean this Estelle is doing a bunch more damage. It's going to have a lot more impact, especially on taking down this... That's not a barrier anymore. That's not somewhere you can bounce off. That 45 isn't safe anymore as soon as the barrier goes down. And because of that, Snake gets taken away by the drop the base. And this is already an amazing position for the Bozo Bunch. They're going to get the barrier for it. Eye's a little bit worse for weather, but they're going to have the cannon. Dropload is in a great place to take it and is able to get the cross up on Gumi. The Bozo Bunch are looking like they are poised to make this comeback.
The Bozos, not what you would have expected, right? 2 L's, 1 W, or whatever. The Sundubu Strikers, so many names in this tournament that you would have expected in this loser's final, but it is the Bozos making it happen. Forgot does not get caught by the barrage of Gumi. Dropletto is building up stacks. Remember, those stacks are just continuing to stack up almost at that 100 now. Still looking. But again, it is Snake on the offense, unable to make the shot for now. The flip available. Dropletto in position, still needs those 100 stacks. Finally, they are online. And Snake defended away by Forgot. Gumi losing the barrier, losing the flip. The Bozos have another opportunity. Forgot manages to save it away from the water cannon. And now it is all up to Kainoob in the midfield.
Kainoob in the midfield kind of ended up taking it away from that water cannon, knowing exactly where to strike it and how to strike it, and is able to get that one away from that dangerous situation, but it's still a good chance here for I. The flow state's online, the pendulum swing as Gumi's in the backfield, and that's another goal for the Bozo Bunch. That is crazy. And the stacks, the speed. How do you deal with the core control of these two characters once they're online? That is what I want to know, as Snake has to burn another flip just to get themselves safe from the drop the base. A opposition that by all intents and purposes should not be running the field is absolutely taking control of it.
And if they get this last point, if they make it to the final draft, I'm speaking too soon though, as Snake just absolutely demolishes Forgot. But if that can occur, it is almost certainly an I MVP of the set, an I picking up that final spark, Chrono Boost 4 sparks, Octavia. How do you deal with that?
They have to put a stop to it right now, as you see I is trying to do exactly that. Able to stagger Kainoob. It's just going to take a couple of abilities from Dropletto in the right spots to get that KO, but they're not even looking for it. Instead, the Death Touch tries to take it away, but it's not going to be able to. That's the water cannon! The cat! But it's fine! I is there! And we are going to set 5, just like in their Swiss match from earlier this tournament.
No,
they're going to set
Dropletto got set MVP!
No.
Like,
no,
it's still winning for them, but it's no longer that doomsday scenario for the Demons.
Oh, that is so unfortunate. Resilience taken, and I guess peak, maybe bulk up, maybe extra special. Yeah, extra special. So you have that many more opportunities to stuff Gumi in that backfield. That is definitely the right call in this draft. Peak performance going over to Forgot to at least buff up the final bit of his health and give him a little bit more speed in the backfield. Other than that, I mean, Gumi gets Deadeye, which I think is actually a real game changer here, because they need to start taking care of this Octavia by KOs, and Gumi needs to start helping with that.
Look at that, I taking a lot of knockback, but still staying alive. Look at that, in the corner, cannot find the barrier with the primary, though. The barrier still stands for Gumi. Great elusive by I, but will get KO'd by, as you said, the Deadeye Giga Blast from Gumi. Now it's looking a little bit difficult for the Bozos. Their chance, their opportunity to scale into oblivion has passed. They must play on equal footing with the Kings of the West. They get the barrier, though. They are looking. Dropletto in position. Will not manage to make the play, but will stun Snake away. Will get KO'd. It's all up to I in this midfield. Forgot pushing up. Forgot looking a bit like the Kai forward here, but no, just stalling. More stalling. The flips are available for the Demons, but they'll be defended away by Forgot. Forgot manages to save the flip for just this opportunity. I is rushing in. One chance for the Bozos. One chance to make this goal happen. I cannot get a hand on it, but Forgot continues to maintain control of the core.
A nice pendulum swing from Dropletto leaves Gumi stunned and flabbergasted in the back of the goal. That's gonna be Bozo Bunch taking the lead for the first time in this game, and they're looking to reclaim their victory on this Inky's Splash Zone. They're looking to try and overtake the Westies and become the besties, as Gumi's getting forced all the way back, and that's another goal! Can you believe it, Saya? Do you believe in the Bozos?
Dropletto looking like the best Rasmus right now, absolutely outplaying the entire team of the Demons. And of course, I is there with the follow-up as well, but they need to make it happen here too. The game is not over yet. The Demons have won from bigger deficits than this. And although I's in the corner, I gets the barrier. Wait a second. The Bozos have a shot. Dropletto in their eye with the strikes, with the pendulum swing. The Bozos strike first in this loser's final.
The Bozo Bunch, and we during those first two sets looked like they were so far out of their depth, looked like they were a fish out of the water on the side of this arena, and they crawled it back. They played for the long game, deciding exactly what their strategy was in those first few drafts and just running with it. This Splash Zone is now the Bozos, and you do not want to mess with this bunch. I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
It's such a shame that that might have been the last match we have seen those three together if Forgot is not swapped out. Like, if Forgot is swapped out, that is the end of the Last Dance with I and the rest of the Bozo Bunch.
Do you know who they'd be swapping out?
They'd be swapping in Boser, who is not a bad player by any means, but I don't like, the shoes to fill are just so big.
Yeah. how do you try and get a feat of that size on a whim, on demand, right? That's very unfortunate. But I mean, hey, if Dropletto and I are still in there and they start running with this momentum, they could still overwhelm those three of the Demons. But of course, the margin of error was so tight. They were one goal away. At one point, Demons was one goal away from winning this. And it's gonna be tight.
After this, it is the Bozo Splash Zone now. The Demons have been dethroned by a team no one would have expected coming into this tournament unless your name was Lol Lamau XCDD with the incredible pick'ems where they put the Bozo Bunch and Party, I believe, in the top 4.
There's no way. I know there were some other predictions as well going on in the staff break room. One Fem Bison, the former Bozo Buncher, deciding to call a long time ago that the Bozos would make it deep, and that might actually be happening. I can't believe the Bozos are one match away from making it to the grand finals and claiming a pretty good chunk of that prize, right?
Yep. The AfreecaTV Omega Strikers Invitational. This is the biggest event we've had in a long while. This is undoubtedly, as fake as that name of S tier is, this is undoubtedly an S tier event. And, well, there are jokes being made about Wikipedia pages being created, but the Bozos definitely gonna find themselves with a pretty stacked trophy case, no matter what happens here.
I Forgot hasn't left the lobby yet. I don't know if you're in the chats, if you're in the situation room as it were, but we'll see what happens. For now, I think that this is Demon Raw's pick, right? And they're probably going to go back to that era double brawler strategy. You have to be thinking about it, and they're probably going to get the ban the X away.
Wait, sorry to
Wait,
interrupt
what?
you. I just looked at the
Go ahead.
Bozo Bunch Discord. I saw the BC where the team was in, and Vaughn had joined. They called in Vaughn to try and get Forgot to stay.
No way.
They called in the big guns.
No way. Is this an intervention? For the good of the people, for the fans in chat, for the bozos everywhere. Vaughn is your voice. Please give him your energy.
They're currently trying to convince Forgot to stay. They said hi, Saya, in the chat right now. They know I'm watching. Forgot is currently possibly making it happen because this is worth waiting for.
This is worth waiting for. This is a very much a lucrative opportunity for sure. I mean, this could be the difference between a bit of prize money. This is the difference between cementing your name in Omega Strikers history as a player worth remembering, as a player worth picking up with in the future. This is your chance to make it. You have to try and take that.
Yeah, and as good as their run has been so far, it would like be a pebble next to the future if they manage to topple Demon's Raw.
Mm-hmm.
There is making a miracle run past all of the other top teams, and then there's the top 2 teams.
Yeah, literally the best 2 teams in North America, and you're contending with them. You're getting the chance to not only topple Demons, but then go up against the Sad Boys, who are far and away the best, and you have the chance to try and prove that you can match them. That would be so much more of a statement. We were talking to the break room earlier. You know, the top of tier 1 is its own tier in itself. And you're and right now, you're making it your case that you're up in that tier. How do you turn this down?
I'm just lost for words. They managed to finish out that game despite
Yeah.
the pick order not being favorable for them in the last draft, despite not being able to assemble the Mayor Octavia with Chrono Boost. Despite everything, they just made it happen.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy too, right? Because you have to be thinking that Drop Leto had to have felt so bad, right? But that they didn't get I to that starting spot, and then to come back from that and then score 3 goals right in a row. That's the mentality of champions, literal champions. That is the caliber of player that we're dealing with here. I have to wonder though, what do they do on Night Market? Or do they just try and get it to Lab? Do they try and just get it back to where Octavia can roam free and give I another chance? But you have to try and fight for this game 2 win, right?
Yeah. I apparently Forgot has locked in. Forgot is staying for now. For the potential ripple in the future of competitive Omega Strikers, because I has already made a few small waves with that roster of Reburst and Appabug, getting first at a weekly, getting second at a much more stacked weekly. But this is no weekly. This is the most stacked event since the Pro League Invitational.
And did you see the chat? Did you see?
I saw, and Forgot is here. He is here.
Forgot is here. Forgot is here. We're going in. There's no roster swaps. We are full on sending this. We are going to Night Market, and we are about to get into this. We're back. We're back, folks. I'm so happy.
No matter what happens, although a win would definitely help them in this regard, but I forgot and drop Leto. The jokes, whenever someone says I forgot, the Bozo Bunch reference is soon to follow in this community where people are known for their very, very memorable but also incredibly uninspired humor.
Yes.
I personally am also responsible for a lot of that uninspired, but still, this roster, before this tournament, no one would have expected this. Sure, performing incredibly well in those weeklies, of course, would have raised their predictions up to maybe top 8, of course. Maybe top 6. But top 3? Taking a game off of one of those top 2 teams. I'm lost for words.
Legendary. I believe that this tournament will go down as legendary, as a lot of these stacked tournaments do end up doing. There's always something crazy that happens during the first tournament of release. That was an insane tournament as well. During the Pro League that we had during, and now these large tournaments where we're gathering all the best talent and saying, all right, you've got 2 days, duke it out. Some of the most fun that we've had in Omega Strikers, and there's so much more to come too, right? This isn't the be all end all. This is not where the story ends. This is for this team, for this crew. This might just be the beginning.
This might be it. Gumi currently departing the lobby for a moment. The delay will continue for a while longer, but all we know is that For God Is Here, the games will continue. And honestly, that is all I wanted to see here because, again, this tournament has had a recurring theme. The NASA team showing that they can contend. The promotion, tournament, launchpad, liftoff, landing. Those 3 tournaments will be incredibly interesting to watch as we approach the Season 3 of the North American Strikers League. But even before that, we are here in this Invitational. And oh wait, that's a good status update.
What?
So Forgot has to tell their friend that they are occupied with Omega Strikers.
Okay,
and
gotcha.
So the worst case scenario is that it actually happens during the game, but the friend arrived now, so it won't happen during the game.
Okay, so as soon as that happens, we're gonna get right back into this. No interruptions, no funny business. We're just playing some good, clean fashion Omega Strikers. We've got Night Market up on the docket. I'm curious to see what the composition is gonna be from the Bozo Bunch, right? Because Forgot can play a bunch of different goalies, and Dropletto, as we've seen, can play a number of good brawlers. But surely they're gonna ban away Snake again, but what do you do once they pull out X Era and then a third brawler, either Zentaro or Asher?
Yeah.
What do you think their answer is going to be?
This map is the real test for them as we are loading in very shortly. The Demons have showed their proficiency on this, took it over the Sad Boys in pretty dominant fashion, I gotta say. So I think it's really up to actually. There are 2 different games that can be played here. Will the Demons let the Octavia through, or will they ban it? Because if they don't, then I will opt for the Era. It will be Era X versus Era X like they played so many times before. And although I would have to favor the Demons in that aspect, I still think the Bozos can contend.
We're not going to have to wait any longer. Thank you, folks, for sticking with us. We are here in the Night Market. We've got the Bozo Bunch versus Demons. Rah! Fighting for a chance to go back into Grand Finals. We are going to see Snake's Zentaro banned away, and we'll have to see what is the ban coming in from the Demons. They are going to take away that Octavia. It is going to be the Dubu X Era going up against, most likely, the Era X Juliet composition that we saw from them earlier. And we're going to be having a nice old brawl here in Night Market.
but will be era goalie. Is this the Juliet lock-in? It is the era goalie. And I think, despite everything, this is a chance for the Bozo Bunch. Because as good as Gumi is on that defense, it is still an era goalie. The limitations of the character still exist. And if Dropletto and I can do that offense in the corner, I love dropping back in the corner, continuing the pressure. And with a start like this, Spark of Resilience, so much more health on everyone. If they can just stay alive, that could be the winning condition for the Bozos.
You know what's interesting? Gumi decided to take the Super Surge as the other starting awakening. Try and make sure that those buffs go even harder. Those haste abilities get more use out of them. You can see how fast kind of is moving already. And how Gumi is able to skirt around this goal box and move all the way up into this midfield, right? With those momentum boots.
Yeah, but right now, both barriers down on the side of the Bozo Bunch. Dropletto looking for a dribbling play against Gumi. Gets the dribble, gets the bull rush, goes for this goal here with the X. Maximus will not be able to get it for now, but Kainoob is staggered. Kainoob's health bar looking very low. Dropletto with the great elusive and Snake trying to find an opportunity for the flip, but the magical Maelstrom will stop it for now. The flips will be used shortly. The flip comes in, Forgot rolls past it, and the first goal, very, very clean from Demon's Raw.
Very, very clean. This is their map pick. They're going to have the run of show here. They're going to be able to do their dance as they've been doing the entire time. But you saw, Kainoob was staggered there. It's very much a good opportunity for the Bozos to try and counteract this play, keep themselves healthy, and keep pressure on one of these brawlers to try and just knock them out of the fight, get them from messing up their coordination.
Oh, but Dropletto goes in, almost KOs Gumi. Almost is not good enough, but the barrier is not an almost. It is fully taken. Forgot has to be a little careful, has to collect this orb, has to stay alive. But as you said, the Super Surge coming in clutch for Gumi. The additional speed on all three of the members of the Demons is really just outpacing the Bozos in those opportunities. Gumi makes the save. No strike comes out from Dropletto, still defended away by Demons, and Forgot will not own barrier today. The core moving slow enough for that not to be the case. Forgot now sending it forward. Dropletto in position, but again, it is saved away by Gumi.
Saving consistently, holding strong. Finally, Snake sends out the flurry, and that's Forgot sending back into the goal box. Snake looking like he wants to go to join him, but instead it's Kainoob with the core. Able to get it right past I. That's a midfielder, not a goalie, but that's two clean ones, two quick ones from the Demons, but we have seen this before.
Yep, we have definitely seen it before, and especially with the Sparks, all three Sparks on the side of the Bozos. They are much more of a scaling comp, right? The immediate power from the Super Surge from Gumi benefits them much more, but I think I, very intelligently, not opting for the Super Surge, knowing that they can be a KO target if they choose to do so, and against this double brawler in the midfield, like, they have to be much more careful. If they had the Super Surge and not the extra stagger, I think they would already be off the map by now.
Extra stagger definitely helping them out, and it means that everyone's going to be fighting for those extra sparks. A great turnaround from Dropletto. Absolutely he's dunking on the person who usually wins those flip wars. Instead, it's Dropletto who takes Gumi to the house and is going to be trying to punch it away. Almost won that strike war, but a beautiful redirect from Gumi means that it's not going to land. Dropletto here. Gumi decides to turn it around, though, doing exactly what Dropletto did to him. And this is why the Demons are such in a class of their own.
Dropletto looking, but unable to get it. Snake looking for the top corner, sends it through, but defended by I. Now Dropletto in position, but a great bewitching beam by Gumi will send it away. This positioning by Kainoob, just not quite enough, barely missing the bull rush on that one. Dropletto now in position to the bottom side, dribbles to the bottom side again, gets it past Gumi. Wait a second, the Bozos are not out of it just yet.
No, the Demons are not out of the woods. They need one more goal to get there. Find that clearing. It's gonna be interesting to see if they can manage to keep Dropletto at bay, because I think that he is going to be the star of the show this time around. Off of that, Octavia means that the era is in a supporting role, and Dropletto is the main character. It's going to be interesting, but Dropletto can still definitely manage it. We've seen so many good options, so many good opportunities, so many good gut checks from this X. More than reasonable to try and lift up this brawler.
Yeah, good shrink by I onto Snake, but it's one barrier to one. Dropletto goes in, but a KO by Kainoob. Catches Forgot, lacking on the bottom side, and this could be bad. The Bozos have had good defense, but with the goalie gone, it's just so much more difficult. Dropletto pops the X Maximus, is in there. Defense along with the Magical Maelstrom from I. They hold until the Dubu returns the flip available. Burned from I, but the barrier still stands. That's what's important. Gumi flexing forward, going up to support Snake, but still, it is now Snake in the corner, continuing the pressure. Dropletto has a mountain to climb here. Kainoob has flip available. Snake just wins the strike war outright with the additional speed from the center. And Forgot, unfortunately, did not remember that one.
They were going to the draft. Juliet with the first pick is very scary, especially when you have picks like this. Knife's Edge, 1-2, Big Fish, even Quick Strikes is a good option.
Oh my.
You see fall.
This is such a stack draft. Chrono Cast, Quick Strike, Twin Drive. What is this? Everything is available here. Will the Chrono be denied here, or will Twin Drive be opted for? It's question. Reverb is instead the stagger scaling, as now this X has options. Big Fish or 1-2 punch is the main question here. Big Fish for the stagger scaling, I believe. And interestingly, you said Dropletto being the main character. That might have just changed. I has picked up Quick Strikes, their favorite awakening in the entire game.
Quick Strikes means that this era is all of a sudden going to turn into the Strike Warrior. But unfortunately, can't win any wars if you're sitting outside the lines. And that's what this color is now painted. All in all, Dropletto is going to have to work around I. And I is going to have to work around Dropletto, as is how you work as a forward duo in this video game. But they can win strike wars like that. If they can get in those situations where they're just on top of Gumi, that's exactly what they need to find.
Look at that great defense from Forgotten. Dropletto still has to keep possession in this corner. They get it past Snake for now. The Knife's Edge speed, so scary. Knife's Edge knockback, so scary as well. Kainoob takes 3 million damage from the Magical Maelstrom, though. Forgot walking up with the flip. Has the Tofu Fortress in there. The KO comes through. I to the bottom corner. Forgot sending it forward yet again. Look at that. Look at I in the corner. Wait a second. Gumi on a breakaway. So much speed to work with. The flip is available for I. Dropletto versus Snake. A brawler versus a brawler, but one of them cannot pretend to be a goalie well enough.
Have you ever seen two goalies on a breakaway at the same time? That was crazy, because Forgot was doing such a good job at managing that central speed boost, right? And Gumi always does a great job at holding forward at the right moments, but unfortunately got a little too overextended that time. Speaking of overextended, Dropletto overextended into the side of the arena, got KO'd for it. All in all, like, I still believe in the Bozos. I don't think that they're down and out.
Yeah, I think the Quick Strikes just change everything. Look at the plays that I is able to set up. Look at the patience to Dropletto. We've seen it so many times before. When in front of the net, the Bozos are so good together. If you pay attention to how I plays the corner, they just strike, they drop back, they strike again, they drop back. It is so hard to play against if you're going for the safe clears, and especially if Dropletto is covering the other side. It's so suffocating for a goalie to play against, even for a goalie on the caliber of Gumi.
If you're looking to try and improve at Night Market, I definitely recommend you give this one a look, because they have it figured out down pat, have Dropletto at the front of this barrier, have I constantly pushing and supporting from the sides, and these two brawlers just cannot get enough KOs, cannot get enough damage on these opponents to maintain their position, to maintain their leverage. The flips are up, and there's obviously still a long ways to go for the Bozos, but if they can get strikes like that, then it's all over.
Gumi has to make the save, but Snake and Kainoob are just not flipping. They finally get a barrier, and they look for the goal, but Forgot just defends it. Has flip available, has Tofu Fortress available. So many resources for the goalie of the Bozo bunch are here. I now sending it forward with the Magical Maelstrom, trying to get in position for Dropletto, but Dropletto is out of commission for now. Gets in position. The log sends it forward in overtime, but still not enough. I now trying to drop back. Gumi, no cooldowns to work with. Dropletto in the perfect spot, a perfect pass, and a perfect set. 3-0 for the Bozos as they just equalize on this map that Demons have been so dominant on today.
Bozos, and that's specialized training for X in the first spot. to make sure that Dropletto not only continues to get buffed, continues to have insane amounts of damage, but is going to have, every time that X Maximus is up, so much more pack to that punch. Spark of Agility goes over to Kainoob, who's going to be trying to work that midfield presence. Spark of Strength over to Snake. And I believe that there's only one Spark left on the board. Demolitionist for Forgot, deciding to go for size, I guess, is the main takeaway for that.
It's a really necessary deny against Snake. You cannot let Snake. You cannot let Snake get that in any world. The refund of 8 seconds, sometimes 16, sometimes 24, just overwhelming. Wait for God, walks all the way up, gets a barrier, does not lose the other one. On the other side, the KO onto I is there, but Dropletto is still pushing forward. If they can hold here, that could be the difference, but for God, caught on the top side, trying to defend against Snake, caught out by Kainoob, who wins another strike war. And despite the advantages created, it was all down to the striker advantage yet again. You cannot be caught out like that. And that draft as well, it was a little bit... I'm not sure whether I should have gone Egoist, right? Because as powerful as that is, this is a Spark of Resilience start. You are giving up Spark scaling to 2 of your opponents. Taking the agility gives you double agility, double stagger. I'm not exactly sure what could have happened there, as Snake is just taking over this game.
Already, the demons are packing their... not holding their punches any longer. They are looking to try and overwhelm and absolutely run over the members of the Bozos. They've got 2 goals already before we go to another draft where Snake is probably going to land it. But hold your horses, because Dropletto still can get those KOs. The knife's edge means that you're hanging on by a thread if you're not careful. Kainoob has a flip and might need to use it. Dropletto doesn't find the bull rush, but there's still I in the backfield. There's still Dropletto moving forward. Everyone's burning their flips, and this is a crazy situation already.
Let us be careful, not get caught out near the edge. Good defense by Forgot, but the strike wars are currently won by Snake. The Monumentalist Tornado from Gumi will seal his fate, but I is dribbling. I is getting there. Kainoob finally puts a stop to it, but that's so many seconds shaved off. The flip shaves off even more, but Snake wins the strike war, but still defended by Forgot. Great shot, not panicking right afterwards, but still saved away by Forgot. Kainoob to Snake, strike war 1, but the log is available. Dropletto pushing Snake away. The defense from the Bozos still holds for now, but the flips are available for the Demons, and it might be a scary situation.
I forgot with the Summer Assault, but it's not enough. Oh, that was a crazy secondary from Forgot. 3-0 for the Demons. We're going back to the draft. We're going to see Kainoob in the front spot. We're going to see the Bozos trying to pick up whatever they can afterwards. And there's a couple of pretty solid options. I mean, your prize fighter perfect form means that you're just going to get that many more specials. And already you have the cast to last, which means that you're going to get even longer buffs. Like, it is just so much. And the fight or flight for Snake means that he's going to start absolutely going everywhere, especially off of these dribbles. Really, the only things that you're happy about if you're the Bozos are the peak performance for Dropletto with the stagger scaling. But other than that, there's not a whole lot that you got.
Yeah, that was a really bad draft. That might be a game-losing draft for the Bozos. They were put in such a bad situation with the draft order as well. I last pick on a fight or flight. Really wanted that with quick strikes. Will not get it. Kainoob will get perfect form on the cast to last with so much health to work with. So much stagger. Will not be going down anytime soon despite any damage that is put on. Even still, that tornado looked like it was tickling. And yet again, the string comes out. Forgot manages to make the defense, but just feels so difficult. Wait a second. A barrier's taken for nothing.
Barrier's taken for nothing. Gumi in a little bit of a weird, awkward position. Lots of damage coming through the goal box, and that's Dropletto helping out I as they get a nice bewitching beam towards that goal. That should not have happened. Gumi just got crossed up in a straightaway, in a breakaway.
That's part of why at the start I said this was winnable for the Bozos, especially against this comp as Dropletto goes in. As good of a goalie as Gumi is, there are some limitations of the character, right? Era enables the offense, Era enables the control, but if Gumi slips up a single time, it is so simple for Dropletto and I to get past. It just hinges so much on that expertise, and it's not always going to be there. A barrier is taken despite the draft, despite everything. The Bozos are pushing forward. They almost take a barrier. The flip has to be expended from Kainoob, and both barriers stay alive on the side of the Bozo bunch. Snake now pushing up, has so much speed to work with, but the stun will save it on the very goal line of the barrier. Dropletto staying alive desperately, has to stay alive here to keep the Bozo's dream alive, but Snake in position will take one barrier, looking for two, but it's cleared away. The KO onto Snake by Dropletto, and Magic, I'm starting to believe.
I'm starting to believe as well. It's 1-to-1 goal barriers, and Snake is going to come back online soon, but Gumi's out of position, and that's a nice energy burst from Dropletto. And to get the KO on the goalie. There's only 2 brawlers left in the backfield, and can they maintain it? No. That is 3-0 for the Bozos. Right back into it. They're going to try and upset Demon's Raw right here in 2-0 fashion. An extra special for the X. No way.
Is it extra special? Is it tempo swing? You don't want the extra special to fall down, though. Extra special is so powerful when you have perfect form, cast to last. Will that be opted for here? No, the spark scaling, of course. The triple spark is here. Extra special being taken away by but that means stacks on stacks goes to Gumi, and with that additional speed, the defense might be that much harder. Missile prop here.
Bulk up?
I'm not exactly sure. I'm not exactly sure about this draft, because I think the Bozos could have made better choices, but still, they are in
Hotshot
this.
was right there, right?
I think it was Hotshot on Forgot as well, but the missile propulsion, if Forgot can find opportunities to walk up, will be unmatched.
Well, they need to find those opportunities, and Dropletto needs to create those openings, as well as Forgot with a goal line save, able to maintain it. And this is why Forgot's in this position, is because they need to get these token fortresses out, because they need the flying goalie. There's so much offense on the side of the Demons. There's so much potential for them to completely overwhelm as they send off of the goal line. And they're in this one to try and win it easily right here, right now. Can they hold on for long enough for But no, there's 2 flips. And that's going to be the first goal of this final set. There's just so much offense on the side of the Demons that maybe Forgot's just trying to say, all right, I'm going to try and match that energy from Gumi. I'm going to try and be the flying Dubu. I'm going to try and help out as much as I can in the offense, because we have the defensive tools to hold on.
Bit of a scary situation for the Bozos. Dropletto trying to go in, but shrunk. Flip used, but Snake wasted with the dash. Still gets a barrier in return. Dropletto looking, getting the strike war on the flip. Getting 1 barrier, looking for 2, but it will be stopped for the moment by the Demons as Kainoob rushes forward. Tries to get it past, gets it past for now. The flip available. Flipped out from Forgot. Manages to get out of the situation against 2, as now must stay alive. Barely does so. Through to Dropletto. The barriers are taken. The Bozos lose their barriers in return as the Demons press forward. It's all up to whether can win these midfield strike wars on the top side. Get it to Dropletto, win the strike wars to the bottom side. Gumi out of position. Dropletto through 2. And it's all evened up in this 5th set.
Forgot's Tofu Fortress on Snake there was so perfect. It blocked off that entire entryway to get to Forgot to meet up with Kainoob. And because of that, I was able to win the strike war against Kainoob and was able to get that situation through. The goal barriers are starting to fall here, but my goodness, what a heads-up play from this goalie. That's why we wanted him back. That's why it was so important for him to be here. That's why it's so important for the Bozos bunches to win this right now.
It all comes down to this. Can they get a point here? Can they start on the right foot? Because the Demons, again, have won tournaments from this position before. The barrier is taken. The Demons are rushing in, and that will be a simple goal for Snake. Now the Demons on the precipice of a Game 3, but the Bozos still have a chance. They are not out of it just yet.
The perfect form plus the sparked up focus means that the cooldowns on Kainoob are insane. There's so many opportunities for stuns, but there's also so many opportunities to fall off of the map, and that's going to be 1 KO, a huge KO, as the Bozos are able to get the goal barriers down. Kainoob is going to have to try and hold this one with this flip. Snake is back online. There's still so much more left to play here, but that was a great play from the Bozos.
They have to stay alive, though. They have to watch these flips. The Demons can turn this around in an instant. The flip comes out. It is defended away from. Watch the cooldown on the dash punch. Snake comes in, doesn't even need the dash punch. Gumi has flip. You gotta watch out here because he could score from across the map. Dropletto looking for the play. Looking to dribble it forward. The tornado will stop them for now, but the KO onto Snake means that we're probably going to the final point, but no, still held by Gumi despite everything. But Dropletto will send us to set 5.5, what feels like the millionth set 5.5 of this entire tournament.
Dropletto knew exactly how to get into the face of Gumi and worked it perfectly, did the perfect timing, saved the cooldowns exactly for that. As the first goal barrier goes down, Saya, they need to realize that they can do it again, but not if Demons Raw wants it.
And is down. This is a doomsday scenario for the Bozos. Dropletto has to play out of his mind, has to play the best he's ever played to get out of the situation. Forgot getting it past for now. The stalling is happening for the Bozos. Is back. The tornado is formed to the bottom side. Has to be careful near this edge. Does not want to be KO'd immediately afterwards. The flip expended. The flip wasted. Snake with the confirm on the punch, covering all of the options. And we're heading to a game 3.
High Noob and Dropletto both were so that was such a tight window. If Dropletto ended up catching the core with that flip, that would have been a completely different game. That would have been a completely different ending. But Kainoob just barely edged it out, barely was able to get the core flip, and was able to send it forward to Snake, who was in the prime position to get that punch through, and forgot. Just had nowhere to go, nowhere to be except the back of his own goal. And that is the Demons holding on. But oh my goodness, the Bozos put up such a fight.
They were on the brink. They were so painfully close. But they have another shot. They have another life.
They do have another shot.
That is not the end of the series.
There's no way. There's no way, right? We're gonna go to step 5 again, right? We have to. I feel like it's in the script, right?
The thing is Atlas Lab. I think Atlas Lab is more favored for Demons in like a significant way.
Explain that.
They play the damage much better. They have, I guess, a much deeper pool in terms of damage dealers, and also they pilot the KOs much more efficiently.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying a lot of vague words, but it's just that the Demons are a top 2 team for a reason. The top 2 team for a reason. And when they pilot KOs, there's a reason also that the Bozo Bunch are banning Zentaro basically every game because that will shut them down. But even without the Zentaro device comes through, etc. Like,
right.
You know?
That I was thinking about that Vice pick from Gumi on Atlas's Lab. It's going to be so tough to deal with those KOs, to deal with that forward aggression. If they don't let Octavia through again, which I doubt that they will, we're probably going to see a very similar composition, a very similar style from the Bozos. We're going to have to see if Dropletto ends up switching things up. Night Market, very good for X. Atlas's Lab, maybe not so much. But that means that Juliet is going to be right back in their faces. They're really going to have to try and just get control of those drafts early. I think that's what they need to do. They need to play for those early setups and try and find a composition that works for them in those first couple of sets so they can start scaling, they can get those important picks on the draft, and that way they're not scrambling later.
This is the critical game. Will the Bozo Bunch be able to make it happen? It all depends on the starting awakenings and the comps that are picked here. Teams are ready to queue up. This is the fateful game. Will the history of a competitive Omega Strikers when a small YouTuber decides to make a 1-hour documentary about it like 5 years down the line have this as a major event, or will it just be a footnote in the video?
It all comes down to this. We are in losers finals of the AfreecaTV Omega Strikers Invitational Tournament on Bestie and Slot here on AfreecaTV. We are getting into the queue now. We are on Atlas's Lab. It is the Bozo Bunch trying to get the upset of the century on Demons Raw, the top 2 team in North America, potentially in the world. It all comes down to this.
Atlas Lab, we're loading in now. The starters will be relayed to us shortly, I believe, and It has to be just X error from the Bozos, right? They can't pick Octavia here, especially if damage comes out. The starters, I'm looking, the typing is happening. I'm afraid of what they could be.
Very afraid.
Tempo, Chrono.
No way, bro. No, I don't believe you. That is disgusting. That's honestly a disgusting start. Of course it is those two overwhelmingly strong awakenings. Of course it is the absolute powerhouse awakening that is Tempo Swing, and that we're probably going to be seeing picked up from Dropletto, that we're probably going to be seeing picked up from even Forgot. The Chrono Boost is going to be great on that era. And Aimi Kai are the picks from Demon's Raw. Not exactly what I was expecting, to be quite honest.
Well, Gumi on that Aimi goalie, very, very comfortable, right? And with a more stable midfield in Kainu just playing that Kai, this could snowball real fast for the Demons, especially with a Chrono Boost Kai like that, with Dropletto and Forgot not having the speed to keep up, and with the immediate KO onto Dropletto. Wait a second, the Demons are looking to dominate this game.
That was like a 5-second KO. That was a 5-second KO, and the goal barriers are down for Demons. And it's still in a kind of a precarious spot. Is staggered, but is still here. And you just run onto Gumi. You just run onto Gumi on this Aimi. It doesn't even matter. What in the world is going on?
That is the most confusing point that I've ever witnessed in my 1-year history of watching Omega Strikers. Everything went in the favor of Demons. One core slip by. Both barriers slowly got taken. And it might happen again. That's the funny part.
It very much might happen again. Already, both of the forwards on Bozo Bunch are staggered, and they are trying to battle back, but this era is not doing that much damage. The combo of Kai and Aimi do so much in the way of that stagger bar. And that's going to be a goal for Demons. I think what they really need to do is just start playing keep away. They just need to start just focusing on this core, focusing on getting early goal barriers. Because if they can do that, and they can keep up their stagger, and just focus on getting their evades, getting health, just completely running away from them, maybe they can get this core in the right spots at the right moments.
Like right now, I is dribbling in the corner, sending its Dropletto KO'd, and a strike war not won by the X of the Bozo Bunch. They will not give up. They will give up both barriers, trying to save both here. Snake now trying to get it through. We'll get a pass for Got. And we're starting slow. The immediate awakening is definitely in the favor of the Demons, and right now Dropletto focusing a bit on trying to damage Snake, but the thing is you just can't match the damage this early. I think it's just so hard to navigate the midfield for the Bozos because they just get KO'd.
Yeah, and it's so hard, especially with Gumi as the pilot on this Aimi. It's not like a You Already Lose who's going to be focusing on core control and keeping that midfield presence. No, instead, Gumi is focused entirely on damage. Look at Dropletto's health already. That was just 2 abilities from Gumi and 1 ability from the other forward, and Dropletto is already staggered. Forgot is going to try and send this one up, but Saya, Bozos need to score this.
With a dribble play, Gumi with no cooldowns, and that is exactly what you want from your star midfielder. This is, I must remind you for the 20th time, this is the last dance. This is I's last dance with Bozo Bunch. This is his entire team's last shot at making something big happen. They do not want to let it go. They just need 1 game here, but it's looking a little bit difficult as 1 barrier is taken by the Demons.
That was an unfortunate bell ringer from Dropletto. Gonna have to try and get another one this time. Unfortunately, it works out well. Demons are doing so well here, right? They're doing such a good job at keeping up this damage, at keeping up the pressure on these forwards. Look at how Snake is just running Dropletto down, running Forgot down. And they obviously know how to pilot this, but luckily, they're starting to battle back.
Forgot now, sending it away, defending this top barrier with his life, continuing to battle back, but the health bars are ticking low. The chip damage is coming in. staggered. Dropletto heals up for a moment, but the barrage will do a lot of damage. I has to be so careful in these situations. If KO, that could mean a massive push for the Demons. Good stun by Forgot to stop it for now. Dropletto is navigating this assistance very well. This double goalie situation. They are stalling for so long. The flip available still blocked away by Forgot, but finally the barrier will be taken. But will it be enough is the question. I rushing onto the field has the chrono boost speed to work with, dribbling it forward. The turret will stop it for now, but Magic, if I can hold this down, that could be the difference.
I has one chance to hold this thing down. Black Hole is online, so it's stalling opportunities for sure. Forgot with a nice somersault. Abilities got wasted by the forwards of the Demons. And there's a chance here. Dropletto's online now. Just trying to get in this corner. Just dancing back and forth with Kainu. Gonna be able to get it in the opening. The Black Hole goes away. That means Kainu's we're a little bit low on the stagger. Dropletto sees it. They're eyeing it up. The energy from the orb, the health from the orb gets taken, and the specials are back online. The great turret from Gumi, but it is not enough. A couple of straight bounces. Gumi saves it with one fateful core flip. Forgot misses and is not there in time. Gumi with the coast to coast shot lands Demons the first draft.
Oh, and that's so bad. The fight or flight. Wait, no, it's not as bad as I originally thought. Wait a second. The speed can still come online. But the issue is the damage. The damage will continue to pile on for the side of Demons Raw. Look at that. There's the Deadeye. There's the 1-2 punch available.
Oh my gosh.
Like, this Juliet is going to become a KO machine. Good deny on the 1-2 punch.
Yeah,
the build is much
you
more
have to.
palatable there.
And then the spark for Dropletto. They're going for the long game once again. We've seen this before. But paired with that tempo swing, I honestly think it's a lot of damage and could help them with battling back, right? Could help it with Dropletto really making sure that he's staying healthier.
Yeah, but what happened to I's health bar? Looking low, Dropletto as well has to expend the elusives early. And a great dash punch by Snake will take one barrier. Looking for two, will not get it. And now I in the corner helping to defend. The Strike Wars won by Forgot. Dropletto moving up but staggered in an instant. The 1-2 punch is not there, but the build different tempo swing is more than enough damage. Dropletto though has healed up. I pushing forward in this pocket that I has been absolutely expert at on every single map. Passing, dropping back, and over again. Dropletto not long for this world, but if one pass can be made to this midfielder of the Bozo Bunch, that could be the difference. I in position to the top side. Gumi reads it. Forgot out of position, but in there, in time. Great bewitching beam from I. Does not get the dribble. Does not get a strike war past Kainoob though. The Tofu Fortress is not what you want to see here, but I continuing to control the core. Dropletto comes back. Maybe a chance. A dash punch comes through from Snake. Flip available to the bottom side, and Snake will send it in.
What a battle for that point. They were trying to get it around Snake. They really wanted to. I think I missed one little angle on that core strike and was not able to get around Snake. They've just been absolutely going after I's health bar, right? And Dropletto is obviously level 3, so has been definitely getting the brunt of the KOs, but during the set, they want to focus on keeping I down. This player is so volatile, has so many good opportunities, and they're able to continue creating them against such a powerful team, such a strong team. They just need to find these these opportunities and land them. They need to convert, but they have not been successful in doing that in these last couple sets.
And that is the stacks from I erased. That is the win condition for this set. Erased. That is the Demons pushing forward, still defended by the Bozo Bunch, but Kainoob is there, passes to the turret. But as I say that, I'm reminded, this is Aimi. People always talk about the arrow scaling, the X scaling, and they're right, but the Aimi is also one of the most hard scaling picks in the game, has so many best in slots that don't overlap at all with those characters. Can take the creations, can take the super surge, can take the twin drive to great effect with the eject button, but Dropletto does not care. Dropletto is doing the damage, getting the KOs, and Snake is left alone to watch the goal sail in.
And this is what I mean, Dropletto can get these KOs. It's not completely Jover in terms of the KO department. As long as I is able to keep it maintained, as long as Forgot can help out with a couple of hits from that somersault, which honestly almost got a KO a couple of points ago, it's a very good opportunity. It's actually a solid situation.
I have to be very careful. Dropletto has a solo midfield for now, as this era must stay alive. The stacks must start stacking up for the win condition for the Bozos to come through. The flip missed, but the barrage is there from Kainu. The KO comes through onto Dropletto, and this point is snowballing in the favor of the Demons to the top side. I makes the save, but Kainu has the speed with the chrono boost.
My goodness. The Demons, they are feeling a lot better. We've seen this time and time again from the Demons. They start off, they don't put their best foot forward, but they find it. They download their opponents, and they adjust, they correct, and they manage to get themselves back on top. And that's exactly what they're doing right now.
Oh, but a great Tofu Fortress will stall them out for now. The Bozos, this is a must-win point for them. Great for proactivity from Forgot, stepping up into the play. I interrupting, getting full stacks off of that strike. A bit of an opportunity, but the flip available from Gumi. What ended the first set could end the second. Dropletto pushing up, trying to damage Snake, but taking so much damage. In return, Kainoob has the flip available, dribbling it in, looking for coverage, waits out all of the pressure, all of the defense from the Bozo bunch, and the Demons look to end the run here.
3 goals stand between the Demons and their rematch against Sad Boys. And what is on this draft? We do see Spark of Agility, and Dropletto is in prime position to take it if it is not snatched away by Kainoob. Cast to last instead gets taken away. So there's something. There's the sparks that increase the power of the X here.
Wait,
but
I'm looking at the draft, and honestly, I think this is fine for the Bozos. This is their shot to make it. The Egos pick up, the Spark pick up, and importantly, Kainoob taking the cast last makes it so that I doesn't have a choice anymore, can just take the Twin Drive away from Gumi, and as good, as best in slot as that extra special is, the Twin Drive is scarier.
Twin Drive's a lot scarier, yeah, because look at this. If Gumi is up, had another opportunity to jump up again right here, it would have been even scarier. It probably would have been a guarantee on those 2 goal barriers. But for now, they're going to hold strong. And I really do like the built different, the bulk up, excuse me, from Snake. I think that it's so important to help with the damage, to help with the tempo swing scaling. And there's just not a lot that these players can do as these absolute titans of the Omega Striker scene run this down, run it through the Bozo bunch.
They are not top 2 because they falter at moments like these. They're top 2 because they get through those set 5.5 situations we saw in the last game and close it out. These are the Demons that we know. These are Demons that players fear, and Dropletto is KO'd. I is taken off, and despite the sacrifice of Kainoob, it is a 1v2, looking incredibly difficult for Forgot to navigate. Snake has the flip available. Great, Tofu Fortress will block it out for now, and Forgot will be the one to save it. Walking forward, flips a little early, and no, that is not what you want to see if you're the Bozo bunch. Despite the heroics, the trigger was pulled prematurely.
The trigger was pulled prematurely, but it's not the last opportunity for the Bozos to score this. You just need one goal at a time. They need to focus on this right here, right now. They need to focus on Forgot's play. They need to focus on the fact that they were able to hold strong and hold close in these dangerous situations. The Maelstrom is going to send out. Kainoob is going to be able to dance around the midfield with Eye. Dropletto's in a perfect position, but a 1 strike war from Gumi means that Saya, this is still not over.
Yeah, it's the mythical status of the Strike War wins that the top goalies have, no matter the character, no matter the situation. And Forgot with a clear that was just a little too forward. We'll send it to match point in the favor of Demons Raw.
How did Gumi win that Strike War? How I legitimately need to know how you can be that cool, calm, and collected in those situations, in all of these Strike War scenarios that completely define the game. Because I could never, as someone who has played hours and hours of IME goalie, I could never be that confident in plays like that. Gumi's just insane.
Snake now, look at that, Snake and Kainoob, the meter is high, the stagger bar is basically full for both of them, but both barriers are miraculously taken for the Bozo Bunch. A bit of an opportunity, a bit of hope. Some might even say false hope, as I is staggered, has to make it through to the other side, but Dropletto respawns as the barriers are open. An opportunity for the Bozos. They must convert, but the KO, the bait onto Dropletto, and the last barrier is taken. I is taken off the map. The top side is taken with the passing play, and despite the first game, despite being 1 point away in the second one, the Demons show why they're on top.
I'm at a loss for words. The Demons stepped up their play so much in that last game. Gumi showing that he can pilot that Imi as well as You Already Lose. Showing that Snake on Juliet should never have been let through, like, should never be allowed to run that free. Because, oh my goodness, that was crazy. Gumi had 6 KOs. Gumi had 6. The amount of time, and that last point where Dropletto was on that side, decided to bull rush forward towards that core where Kainoob was. Gumi sent out that glitch pop preemptively and knew exactly where Dropletto was going to land and popped it. Popped it as soon as it was done. That was, oh, that was crazy. And that's the kind of play that Gumi seriously elevates to another level.
Yeah, it was close for a moment, but Atlas Lab, just a map that is so good for Demons in a matchup against a team that isn't nearly as KO heavy, right? The character pools, Forgot, unfortunately, does not really play those eject button goalies. Does not really play those damage midfielders, and Dropletto well plays the X, but that's just 1 out of 3.
And it seemed like they had such good opportunities too. Like, it's not even like they were playing like super poorly during that set. They had the options. They had the opportunities to make things happen, but they were just, I don't know if they were fatigued. I don't know if they were a bit shaken up after that last match, but they just could not convert. They could not find those goals at the right moments. And they just ended up getting KO'd for the most part.
And I'll say it one last time. The last dance ends here for the Bozo Bunch. It is the end of the road for this roster that has surpassed any prediction, any expectation. All 3 members, I'm sure, will be finding their way onto much more named rosters with teammates that are much more well known shortly. Because
I'm sure
after this performance, this is an incredible tournament run to have on your resume.
And they don't walk away empty-handed. They do get a little something for their troubles. They do not end up continuing for the time being. The heroics did not last. I believe that is going to do it from us 2 casters. We are going to go vanish back into the night, join the Bozos. But thank you all for joining us for now. Don't go anywhere. Grand Finals is right after this. We're going to see Demons Raw for a 3rd set. Try and take it back from Sad Boys in another best of 3. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, everybody, to the AfreecaTV Omega Strikers Invitational, where we are gearing up for our grand final. And it's going to be the same two teams that we've seen in a number of grand finals back to back to back. It's going to be Sad Boys taking on Demons Ra. The Bozo Bunch miracle run has been ended. Congratulations to them. But now Demons Ra looking to make a little bit of a comeback of their own. My name's Gordo. I'm joined by Borg as we're gearing up for the final match of the night.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I've been watching the tournament today, freaking out pretty much all day. One, the fact that Sad Boys, I mean, it was a 2-1, but I feel like fairly decisively. At least to me, it seemed decisive. I don't know how it looked to you guys. I'm a little bit biased because I help scrim with people, and I see these players every day. But then the Bozo Bunch, their miracle run yesterday and today, almost beating Demons. That was insane. I think we're all in the staff chat just freaking out basically this whole time. Just every single time they scored, every single time, a little bit of bias there, but well played to them for the miracle run. But now we have, like you said, Demons Raw versus Sad Boys. Now I guess you can call it a storied rivalry from season 2, pretty much all of season 2, a bunch of weeklies that we've been seeing them, and then now this Africa tournament, and probably in season 3 it's going to be a rivalry as well. So we're going to be seeing a lot here, and as we are getting into the first map, it is going to be Atlas Lab, and for those who are willing or who are wondering, it is going to be an Atlas Lab into Night Market into Oni Village if that game 3 is needed. So yeah, getting into pick now. I mean, how you feeling about this match, Gordo?
Yeah, it's looking like, so for those not keeping track, this is the exact same map draft that we saw in the winners final matchup between these two teams. So nobody feeling the need to make any changes, at least map-wise. Let's see what the changes are going to be composition-wise, as you got to believe that Demons Raw are going to come into this looking to make some very tiny shifts here and there. They've been able to take maps off of the Sad Boys before. They've been able to take games off of the Sad Boys before and series off of the Sad Boys before, looking back to stuff like NASL regular season. So they know they've got it in them. They're just going to look to try to put the pieces together here in a grand final to try to get that bracket reset and get themselves a win in the first place. Both of these teams just absolutely riddling the all-pro teams for the NASL. Some of the best players of Omega Strikers in the world facing off here in our grand final starting right now.
Yeah, and actually, this is going to be really interesting because this is a completely true mirror match. Every single player has tempo swing. Vaughn and Kainu both on Kai with slick kicks, and Bells and Snake both on pummelers, Julie, and then Gumi and You Already Lose on that Amy goalie with eject button. So this is really just going to be which team is better.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as balanced as you could possibly make it. Not really going to be any side favoritism in a game like this. And that really means the early game, I feel like, is where things start to matter a lot. Because that's what's going to determine who gets first grow at the Awakenings. And that really should be down to the straw that breaks the camel's back in an otherwise very even game. So getting these first couple of goals, getting the orbs to get a high draft pick, that's what's going to matter a whole bunch here, as both goal barriers can be found pretty early on by Demons Raw as they look to strike first in this first game. You Already Lose, though, keeping up on the defense, throwing down that sentry turret in the bottom corner, trying to keep things cleared out as best they can. Kainu's going to find themselves a nice little KO off the back there on this Kai forward, and looks like they will be able to find a little bit of freedom, but going to have their goal opened up one way or the other, even at the numbers disadvantage, as Bells has been able to get out here and rejoin the rest of the squad. Now just taking a little bit of a beating here up against Snake.
Yeah, kind of taking a beating early in this point, but Sad Boys has managed to claw themselves back, get both barriers, and now Vaughn in a really, really good position with this core flip, dribbling forward, trying to get something going here, but not going to really amounting to too much. Kainu now with the core flip onto Snake, but a great save from You Already Lose to stop that one in its tracks. Snake now looking very, very low as the core flip almost takes him out early. Vaughn having to use that, and Bell's coming back, committing the abilities to kill here. So Gumi now with core flip, but uses it all of a sudden. Now Bell's with just a free shot on the top side.
Big goal there coming on through to start things off for the Sad Boys. Bells sneaks it in, finds the angle. He's going to draw first blood in this matchup, but again, it's really the whole first set that matters a bunch, and a really early KO found there. You Already Lose with a glitch pop. Just takes one off of the bottom corner, and now goalie-less for a little bit, or not goalie-less, but missing a midfielder there, as Gumi going to have their work cut out for them on the defense. Kainu has been able to respawn, but already lost a barrier for it. Will they be able to push for a second? Looks like not, as Bells has found themselves cut off by that sentry turret, and now Snake going to take control up into the top, be able to take a barrier of their own. Trades coming back and forth to Julie's, still trying to see who can end up with the better end of the stagger trade, and it is Bells so far. Snake taking a lot of damage here, and now going to be staggered, going to be even weaker coming forward. Vaughn going to look for the KO, going to find it off the back of the barrage. Now a 3-man push here coming into the goal arc of Demons. They are going to be able to open things up for the Sad Boys as they look to calculated and surgically get themselves a win here, but going to have their own goal opened on up, not going all according to plan, at least so far. The barrage will push it forward. Bells got it in their hand. Bells with the Phoenix going to be able to push it through and get the second goal.
Yeah, and I really love the patience from Bells. They just wait that extra second, see if Kainub's going to throw anything at you, see if Gumi's going to make any decisions on whether, top or bottom. Gumi decides, not really sure what's going here, stuttered a little bit. Bells takes full advantage of it with that strike into dash punch, perfect in that bottom corner. And now you got to watch out because you already lose with this turret coming in here. Not going to get much for it, but still has the core flip. So he's going to be looking pretty healthy here as he gets the first barrier, blinking forward with that glitch pop. So well played from Sad Boys early on in this game, as Snake almost gets the KO on Vaughn, but Vaughn, expertly positioning himself. Bells taking out Kainub now, who gets staggered and getting that last barrier for themselves. Sad Boys are looking to take this first set.
The reigning NASL MVP spent a lot of time in the death chamber in this game, and looks like that's going to be very possibly pushing Sad Boys off to an early win, although that's the trade back. They managed to take one off the map for themselves. Now without that, Julie for the other side will give them a little bit of space to play with, and they turn it into a goal. Snake going to be able to claim that one while Bells is still off the map.
And Snake crucially winning that strike, or actually not having to commit that core flip, so has it for this round and can possibly try to, get something going pretty quickly, try to steamroll maybe another point here, even this up at 2-2.
And that's what they're hoping for. Got that core flip, going to utilize it to find one of the barriers. Snake now taking it down towards You Already Lose, who has the core flip available. That crisscross of the 2 sentry turrets still going to end up with an open goal for the Sad Boys. You Already Lose now going to emerge from the goal arc, try to make a little bit of an aggressive play happen up against Demons. They will be able to get one barrier, but not much else. Snake looking for the dash punch, can't quite find it. Kainub going to be able to pass back on up, now looking for the goal, going to push it through with a Giga Blast, and Kainub ties us up at 2-2.
Yeah, it seems like Demons, I don't really want to, I hate wanting to say this, right, because I feel like Bozo Bunch in that last match was playing super, super well, but it feels like Demons are just not quite on their game today, I don't really know too much of what's going on, or maybe nothing's going on. Maybe Bozo Bunch really was just playing that well, and Sad Boys playing that well in that Winners Finals, right, but it feels like Demons, definitely has a lot more in the tank than what they're showing so far, and I believe they're starting to get that out right now. But Snake going down pretty early, allowing Vaughn and Bells to kind of get a core flip out of Gumi and Kainub. So, but Vaughn, having to core flip himself, and now it's kind of back to even here, but Bells is staggered.
Yeah, quite the endorsement of Demon's skill level, right? That even playing, I think, a little bit below their usual level, they're still able to make it to this final. But yeah, gonna have to find a whole new layer. We're gonna have to unlock something different if they want to be able to challenge the Sad Boys, who've had such a dominant run through the tournament so far. Bell's gonna find another KO over on the other side as the duel back and forth between Gumi and Vaughn. Eventually, Gumi gonna have to return to the goal arc, and that's gonna give Vaughn the chance to play a little bit more aggressive. Snake taken into the stagger, has to run over towards the other side. You Already Lose, gonna keep on that aggression, but Bells can't get control over the core. It means they're not gonna be able to push for that last barrier. Gumi gonna clear back on out. Sentry turret to back up from You Already Lose as at midfield. Vaughn is pushed further back. Snake's still staggered, not able to get past anybody as Vaughn and Bells are just bullying the guy, and he's going to get taken out off the top corner. Core flip comes on through from You Already Lose to clear it back on out. Now looking for an angle to try to play a little bit more towards the barrier. They got to be able to clear this one open eventually with the numbers advantage with the power play. Core flip comes back out from Gumi, though. They're able to clear it out once again, and now back at full force. Demons Ra are managing to strike back and try to fight for this very first set.
Yeah, but the set is just going so incredibly long, but Bells now might get this last barrier, and he does with the dash punch, and now has that core flip right in Gumi's face, puts it crucially in that bottom corner after Gumi strikes, and Bells striking, I guess, that first set, like you said earlier, striking first blood in a different way with this set, and You Already Lose going to be rewarded with this first pick here. So well played to Sad Boys for kind of coming back, calming their nerves possibly a little bit, just keeping calm and getting that last point there, and to Bells for really running that whole thing here. We'll have to see. Timeless going to be going over actually to the Amy, and there's actually a couple pretty interesting Awakenings here. The Kai going to be getting Chrono Boost, which is super incredible, and Sai's going over to the Julie. So lots of good things for both teams here. Looks like Gumi's going to start sparking up a little bit, but answered by another spark of Vaughn. So we're going to have a little bit of a spark war here from Vaughn and Gumi, which might be pretty fun. And stacks on stacks for Snake, I don't think is going to be super important. I have a feeling Snake might be getting focused down by some damage a little bit this set, but we'll have to see. If it comes in clutch and he doesn't die, then it's going to be very, very useful.
Yeah, the KOs on a Snake have been pretty plentiful so far anyway, so with the addition of that stacks on stacks, you gotta wonder how much they're gonna be able to keep it on up, but Bell's gonna be the one who takes the most damage in this early scuffle, as he's gonna be down to that staggered Snake and have to go elusive to avoid getting taken down off the backside, and Gloomy now pushing it forward at midfield as Vaughn's stagger bar also falling pretty low. Snake now low once again, going to be sent staggered. Bell's going to look for the KO, has to go elusive to avoid going down to it, but Bell's going to finish off the job anyway, set those pancakes right back to 0 as they start to look in for these barriers. The bottom one is found, and Bell's goes for the punch, not going to find it off the core flip from Gumi, who's looking to push forward. They have that eject button to blink back at any time. Instead, it's going to be Kainu, who takes a fair bit of damage off the back of the Giga Blast. Now pushed out towards the bottom. Again, we got that black hole in the center, detonated away, opening up the map once again, and Bells still finds themselves very low as they're tanking up a huge amount of that barrage damage. And again, we find ourselves at one barrier apiece, and neither team able to really break through up against the other's Imi goalie.
Yeah, one barrier piece, but no, You Already Lose just loses that second barrier. Snake almost KOing You Already Lose, but You Already Lose with a great core flip, actually defending and getting the last barrier for the Sad Boys. So well played for the goalie of Sad Boys, and now Bell's looking incredibly low, trying to survive against Snake here, but staggered, still managing to stay alive for now, but can't really help too much as Kainu runs in here, but Snake actually going to be tanking that entire Amiel for almost nothing and popping that core flip. So now it looks like, oh, I was about to say Sad Boys are on the upper hand, but now that Bells is gone, it looks like Snake just has a free goal shot on that bottom side. So well played, the Demons Raw, for clawing that one back.
Yeah, and a bunch of resources poured in right there to try to KO Snake in the bottom corner. He gets the last strike off before they connect, and that manages to push it through for the goal, and that's going to be an early lead now found by Demons Ra in this second set, and they're going to be looking to keep that going forward as they start off aggressively in round 2. Going to be able to find themselves a goal barrier, but Snake going to lose most of their stagger in trade for it. Vaughn now pushing it towards the top. Barrier cleared back on out by Gumi. Bell's ready to receive on the bottom. Now again, it's Kainu has to lead the charge. It's been a straight off back and forth between the midfielder and the forward side of Raz, who can actually step up and try to take this core, as they both end up taking a huge amount of damage from Bells and Vaughn if they step even a little bit out of position. There's going to be KO found onto Vaughn though. Now with a little bit of a power play, can Demons Ra try to push this up to a 2-0 lead. They open up the goal, they go in for the shot, blocked back away by You Already Lose. Snake not quite able to follow, but Kainu just shoots it into the bottom corner, and it's going to be able to go up 2-0.
Yeah, and Demons Raw so far, with their conversions off of power plays, has been very, very, very good, right? It's just been very precise, and I don't think they've fully been able to, like, actually failed one yet. They've always gotten a barrier or a goal off of these power plays, so well played to them for making full use of this. And Bells, I think, or Vaughn, whoever gets taken down, it was Vaughn last time, now it's going to be Bells. You know, they're going to have to figure out a way to survive a little bit better, because as we can see now, Demons Raw on a power play is just another beast to deal with.
Yeah, keeping the Julie alive, a huge part of being able to execute on the composition, and so far, whichever one is ended up going down has ended up losing a lot for it. Snake now going to be the next target, taken pretty low as Bells is respawned back onto the map. We'll be able to escape. We'll be able to get back over to those orbs as Bells just pushing in aggressively, gets the flurry onto 2, and is going to be able to take one off the map. Snake no longer going to be available as Bells now with a little bit of a breakaway one-on-one up against Gumi. Needs to get it past this Imi. Will be able to get it towards the barrier, but not going to be able to retain control and not going to be able to find the goal as the respawn comes on across for Snake. Now it's Vaughn up in the corner trying to avoid You Already Lose from even having to participate and seeing if they can clear back out on their own. Clear back out from Gumi. Going to blink back into the goal arc, has to stay on the defense. Bells finally going to manage to clear it past Kainoob as Vaughn wants to set up for a little bit of a passing play here. Bells has access to the core flip. The flip from Gumi going to come through first to make sure that nobody's going to be there, but that's going to be the KO out of the goalie found by Bells. And now with an empty goal arc, it's going to have to be Kainoob subbing in, but very tough for him to make this happen one-on-one up against Bells, especially when You Already Lose is trying to keep up that aggression. Blinking on out, Gumi has respawned, and the goal is not found by the Sad Boys, so this volley going to continue on.
Yeah, continuing on, and some great dribbles there from Vaughn to just wait a second, kind of feel out what's going on in the game, and Bells almost with a really, really good play onto Gumi, but a great stop by Snake using that flip and Kainoob. managing to keep it away for now. And Kainu with a great KO onto Bells now, who is staggered. So it's back again for defense on a Sad Boys. He already invests the core flip, but does not do it in time and loses the barrier anyway. So Bells now gonna have a lot of work cut out for him when he comes alive in 2 seconds, as Vaughn can get it to Bells here. In this top corner, Gumi has a lot of abilities still online, so it's gonna be very, very difficult as Kainu and You Already Lose going down, and a great play from Demons there to take this set 3-0, already coming back.
Really great stuff there to be able to KO the goalie, find themselves the opening, good positioning on that Sentry as we get into the draft.
Yeah, and the draft, ooh, okay, so there is a lot. This is going to be a very, very interesting draft to see kind of how things go. We got the extra special coming in here, and it's actually going to be Vaughn taking away the Stagger Swagger, and for himself, and also just, you know, taking it away from any possible KOs, you know, for their side as well. So very, very strong here. It's going to be Bells denying. Oh, no, actually, okay, so I was actually wrong there. It's Kainu taking the Swagger Swagger, excuse me. When it's a mirror matchup, it's a little bit difficult, so...
Yeah.
I guess the good things about this draft is You Already Lose gets that extra special on the Amy goalie with Timeless Creator, going to be very, very oppressive overall. Snake taking that spark, which not going to be too much. I don't think it's going to matter too much in general. Vaughn getting Twin Drive is going to help a lot, and Bell's getting Perfect Form is going to be helping out. But Kainu with that Stagger Swagger, I don't expect him to be dying anytime soon now.
Well, we'll see as he's going to get taken into the stagger right away as Vaughn pushed further back away. Or yeah, Kainu going to be a little bit more durable than the Vaughn side of the matchup. But as I say that, Kainu sent rocketed right off the bat, but Gumi going to respond in turn as it's Julie, Imee across the map to see what exactly can be made to happen. Bell's taking a ton of damage though, even gets the detonate off the black hole, but now going to be an opened up goal on the other side as Vaughn respawns. Vaughn going to look to take control here, but snuck past the Sentry. You Already Lose. Can't get their hands on the core in time, and Kainu gets the score.
Yeah, a little mistake there from You Already Lose. You know, it would have been so incredibly good if they could defend there because Gumi just invested that Firewall Sentry of his own with the core flip to try to kill Bells and failed. So it would have been so incredibly good if Sad Boys could stabilize there, but not quite the case as we're going into another point here. Snake looking a little bit scary here, but actually going to survive for now. But no, gets taken out by Bells, but Vaughn on the other side going to be trading. So it will be a 2-on-2 here as Kainu now taking a ton of damage and Bells getting both barriers. So well played from Sad Boys to take control of this 2-on-2.
Huge there as now Bells with a little bit of an opportunity here as the KO is going to be found on the other side. Kainu no longer available for Demon's Ra, and this is an opportunity to score for the Sad Boys in the 3-on-2. They find another KO. It's a 3-on-1, and Snake's just going to let it through. There's just no chance to defend there up against all three members of the Sad Boys.
Yeah, and I mean, Snake denying that agility spark from Vaughn in the draft. You know, maybe Vaughn, you know, has a harder time to live now. He doesn't have that extra stagger, but you got to keep in mind now giving Bells that perfect form on the Julie allows him to just do so much more. As we see right now, just has so many more cooldowns all the time with that KO after that ult. So both barriers going to be down here. Sad Boys with the power play, and Bell's going to be punching it in right past Gumi. Not much Demons can do, and Sad Boys are coming back with a vengeance on this third set.
So clean there. As you said, the Sad Boys, they find another level after going down 3-0 in set number 2 and now are exploding into set number 3. A 2-1 lead found already as Bell's going to immediately find a follow-up onto that next goal barrier. Sentries come back and forth. Snake and Vaughn knocked further away from each other as Vaughn going to have to go elusive to evade a fair bit of that damage coming on across, but now Bell's the one in control. Kainu sneaks it right past. He's going to be able to go in for the next follow-up shot. Vaughn the one taking the majority of the damage here as he's taken pretty low, has to dodge away from the Flame Flurry, but Bells meanwhile is working on this barrier and will find it. Cleared back out by Kainu, but Vaughn ready to receive, sends it off the center, now looking to get it into the hands of Bells. There's going to be the core flip from You Already Lose, shooting it towards the other side goal arc. Here comes You Already Lose once again onto the top to try to find the follow-up shot, but has to get back to the goal arc in time. Vaughn now taking it, moving it down towards Bells. Glitch Pop trying to clear out from Gumi as well as the Sentry. Back on the top now is Bells trying to get control, can't quite find it. The pair of You Already Lose and Vaughn, they've successfully taken Snake off the map. Now what can be done with him gone? Kainu looking to push forward. Gumi goes in for the core flip, tries for the last hit shot, can't find it, and now no resources left to defend the goal. It's going to be a set coming through for the Sad Boys.
The Giga Goat Vaughn on the Kai, managing to get a perfect angle. He definitely wasn't trying to do that. He was just trying to clear it. But Gumi, with no energy and no abilities, just did not have any tools to get there in time. And in overtime, especially when a Giga Blast hits it, that's going max speed. So it's very, very difficult there. Random things can happen. And now Bell's going to be denying that quick strikes from Kainoob, which is going to be so crucial. But Kainoob does get the Spark of Strength here, which isn't actually going to be doing too much, but denies it from Vaughn overall from getting that extra Spark of Resilience. Not really sure how much I agree with that or not, but I mean, I guess they really don't want Vaughn to be getting any more stagger. Another big thing about this draft is that heavy impact going on to Snake. Going to be giving Snake a little bit of a higher kill, I guess, distance from that dash punch and just a little bit more damage overall. So definitely a very, very good pickup, and we'll have to see how it plays out for him right in this next set.
Yeah, Snake's kind of gotten relegated into just going movement speed the whole game, so definitely going to appreciate a little bit of additional kill power. Not that he doesn't appreciate the stat, but definitely going to be wanting to try to find some of these angles off the edge of the map, as being down a man has constantly been an issue for Demons Ra in this first game. Now they are on the verge of not having another draft to try to take it to number 5, but they do not end up fighting back here in set number 4. Kainoob taking very low. Bell's going to be in that same category as they are defending up on this remaining upper goal barrier. Going to be Bell's taking it out towards the center. Kainoob just dribbling it to themselves at the bottom, but Vaughn going to come on in, disrupt with the barrage and try to steal it away. Snake is just beating on Bells on the other side. Snake takes him off the bottom into the blast zone, and now it's going to be Snake pushing forward on towards the top. Kainoob with an opportunity to shoot, passes it back up towards Snake. Vaughn on the defense clears it back out, but Gumi here for the backup as he throws down that sentry. Snake not going to be able to get his hands on it in time, as the core flip is going to be able to clear it back on out from the already lose, and a successful defense is staged by the Sad Boys. But Kainoob goes in with a shot onto the Giga Blast, block back away once again, and Vaughn trying to get an opportunity to go in towards the barrier on the top side. Kainoob set into the stagger, but it's Snake going in for the shot, goes in for the flip, and finds it where you already lose, can't get to it. A point goes over to Demons Ra.
Yeah, and a great patience there from Snake, waiting for both members, Vaughn and Yordles of the Sad Boys, to strike. They both kind of had a little miscommunication. Both of them strike at the same time, covering that same timing of the core flip. And I mean, Snake just kind of waits, just patiently waits it out and gets that conversion. So well played to him. And a big kind of thing that happened in that game was Bells, getting taken out early, just that tempo. And we're seeing it here again. Bells getting staggered very early and having trouble surviving really this whole time. So Sad Boys is going to have to, keep this on offense as long as they can with Bells now that he has a little bit of HP in order to have a chance, I think, because Demons, when they have a high tempo going, they have, basically infinite opportunities. As we see there, Snake just getting a try and try again with these shots and finally puts it in.
Yeah, and alternatively, right, while Bells is going down, Snake isn't. They've managed to keep up those stacks on stacks. They're moving across the map incredibly quickly, constantly able to reposition themselves and find the good angles on towards these shots, and that's what's kept on happening. Bells again going to be taken incredibly low, at risk of getting sent off the map, and it's Snake now looking to try to become the better brawler player in this very moment and lead the team towards their first win in a potential number of games to be played if they're able to find the bracket reset. They're definitely hoping for that on the side of Demons Ra. Gumi pushing forward in addition with the rest of the team. There's going to be the opened up goal barrier, and here's an opportunity to send us to set number 5 right here, right now. Kainoob goes in for the core flip, but it's going to be end up ricocheting back onto the other side, but Gumi finds it off the glitch pop. A 3-0 set again. When Ra wins, they win convincingly, and they send us to set 5.
Yeah, really interesting dynamics on how these sets are going. It feels like Sad Boys just completely aren't there. They don't have the pieces all together in both the sets that they lost, but when they were winning, it feels like, it's a little bit of a tougher battle between Demons. So I don't really know kind of what's going on here too much, but Demons definitely playing incredibly well as we get into this game here. A little bit about the draft. 1-2 punch crucially going over to Snake. Now Snake going to be having 1-2 punch heavy impact dash punch, which is going to be so incredibly scary. But, you already lose. Had to deny that Demolitionist, so could not really let that go through as it was a little bit scarier. Bells actually not going built different here. Does not care about the size too much. Opts for a little bit more stagger comparatively, which definitely not a wrong decision. Has a little bit more speed, a little bit more stagger. Definitely going to be helping a lot in this game so far. And Gumi actually going to be getting that reverb, which is going to help, help him survive a little more. But he wasn't really getting staggered too much, so not the biggest deal.
Tiniest of a bonus off of the tempo swing as well, but yeah, Bell's gonna find an early KO here on towards the side of Demons Ra. Now going to be able to move into follow-up goal, just goes on in, finishes it off in an instant. A huge core flip for the KO goal combo.
Yeah, it's funny because I don't even think he needed that core flip. I think it was just in, but Bells did not want to take any risks there whatsoever out of save. Takes down Gumi and just completely finishes that goal right away. So well played to Bells for just not really taking any chances there and taking Snake down really low as well and healing up from that tempo swing. So definitely good play out of Sad Boys early on, but Bells is going to have to survive here if they want any chance of success in this point.
Man, if you think about it, Borg, again, it's been 3-0s only when Ra wins, so if you guarantee that first goal, statistically, it looks like that's going to be enough for the Sad Boys to potentially be able to close out this first game, but we'll have to see. Demons Rock can change that. They just have to be able to find their way through despite being down a goal to start things off. So they're going to clear things out from the bottom. Already have cleared both of the goal barriers, so on good pace to be able to tie this up at 1-1. It's a pass down to Kainu, back up to Gumi, going into the hands of Snake. Snake finds the KO and the goal all at once, takes it for themselves, and it's going to tie it up.
Yeah, Snake actually had a really good play there. You know, Vaughn was being careful of the dash punch, saw the dash, ended up evading. Snake waits to punch until after the dash, and then Vaughn actually struck in time. So struck to try to save the core. Snake saving the punch to KO Vaughn instead of just dash punching completely once altogether. So well played from Snake for making full use of that play, and a little bit of miscommunication there again from Sad Boys. You know, Vaughn felt like he needed a strike there, but You Already Lose might have had it.
Going to be one barrier apiece as there's going to be the core flip attempt from Gumi. Not going to quite find the core, and Bells with an opportunity to push here. Has the flip, has it all, and turns it into a goal, 2-1 for the Sad Boys.
Hey, give Bells all abilities plus core flip, put him next to the goal, he's scoring. I don't think I've ever seen Bells not score when he has everything up right in that situation. So well played Devon and You Already Lose for getting Bells at that point right there in front of the goal, and a great conversion from Bells. Just all three members in that Juliet ultimate. So well played to him, but one, you know, on this last point here, possibly this match point, or can Demons Raw, you know, bring it to that set 5.5? We'll have to see, but Snake looking a little bit scared already early on.
Yeah, beautiful shot foul by Vaughn there off the Giga Blast to be able to find that second barrier, and now an opportunity to close out game number one is available to the Sad Boys. Bells just needs to take it into their hands. It's going to be Kainu letting it receive on the bottom off the back of the pass from Gumi. Vaughn now taking back control with that barrage, and Bells ready to get it up on the top. Bells has it in their hands, looking for the shot. Can't quite get it past Kainu, as Gumi's going to be able to hold up the defense. Glitch Pop not going to get anywhere, as there's the Flame Flurry, there's the full shot, and there's game number one going through for the Sad Boys.
Yeah, really well played from Vaughn there at the end to actually catch that rebound off of the save from Gumi. Now Gumi with nothing left, and Kainu, who is just not in position to help out, just gets Bells another one-on-one with Gumi and just allows him to finally convert it for that last goal. And like you said, I mean, when Demons won, they looked incredibly strong, whether that was from Sad Boys' mistakes or Demons just awakening another little, I guess another level on their own there. But regardless, well played to Sad Boys for getting that first game, and looked, you know, that last set looked pretty convincing to me.
Yeah, and a big, big uphill climb now required for Demons Raw to try to get themselves a win here. They not only need to take 2 in a row to get the bracket reset, and then they're going to have to win another 2 out of 3. 4 series wins was always going, or 4 game wins rather, is always what it was going to take, but it is harder than ever now for them to be able to find it. Their second map will be the one that they chose. It will be Night Market, so a little bit of a bailout there. They've been running that double brawler plus Aragoli comp on that map. Let's see if they go for it again, Borg.
I hope they don't. I don't think it's good. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I mean, maybe there's something I don't know, but every time they almost lost against Boza Bunch to it. It got really close to that last point, right? When Boza Bunch just like, I believe Dropletto actually missing a core flip when they would have won otherwise almost. Like it was that close with that comp, and then they lost to Sad Boys with it earlier. So, I mean, I don't really understand it. I think it's kind of just like they're having fun. They're trying out some new things, especially before the new season of NASL, but I have a feeling they're going to be playing something else, you know, possibly going to be seeing maybe, like we've seen earlier, maybe a Finny goalie. Maybe if that's banned from Sad Boys, possibly not.
It's been the ban.
I guess it has been the ban on that map, so it's probably not going to be coming through. Gumi definitely not fun to play against when he's playing the Finny on Night Market. So, I don't know. I mean, I hope we don't see the double brawler comp. I really don't want people to start playing that. I don't want that to get popularized. That sounds awful to play against, but who knows? Maybe they'll run it back a third time.
Have you tried playing in like gold plat elo board? Because you just get that comp all the time. Nobody's really trying to do anything. It just kind of happens.
Yeah, but it's not, you know, like coordinated.
No, I wouldn't recommend
it's just
it.
two Brawlers players getting on the same team because
Yeah,
there's
absolutely.
not separated midfielder forward, right? So
exactly, would never recommend it. It's not a fate that I would doom some of my anybody I know. I wouldn't doom it to my enemies. I wouldn't give it to my friends. Not a good time all around. So waiting on one more ready up before we get into game number 2 on Night Market. But yeah, a lot of options that have to be considered here for composition. I mean, could run something similar to what we've seen mostly out of the Sad Boys on there, just a little bit more of a traditional comp, more similar to what we've seen from them on other maps. But I don't know. I mean, the mirror match of game number 1 didn't end up working out either, although it did go full on to set 5. So plenty to think about here for the side of Demon's Ra.
Yeah, definitely plenty to think about. What will they do? Come up with something a little new, maybe go to some old tried and true. Maybe we'll be seeing some Era X depending on the awakenings here. And I mean, I'm more excited to kind of see what Sad Boys is going to be picking here, right? Because if you saw NASL season 2 finals rather, we saw that Octavia, right? We saw that Octavia coming in, and we saw a lot of interesting things kind of going over, and Sad Boys definitely have been experimenting a lot recently. This is a very comfortable map for Sad Boys, even though this was Demon Ra's pick. So who knows? I mean, maybe they'll just play Era Julie like they tend to do a lot of times. Maybe they'll play Era X Castle last start or something. So it really just depends on the awakenings.
It really does. So a little bit left to be determined here. Not sure if the players are chatting strategy, if we're just getting any last responsibilities out of the way before what could be the final game of the tournament here, Borg. I mean, if Sad Boys are able to close this out, I mean, this would be a very dominant win from them, even in the winner's side final. This did go all the way to 3 games, and I believe the same was the case over on NASL finals. So being able to win a clean 2-0 really going to be a big win over in the Sad Boys column of this increasingly storied rivalry between these two teams. Definitely not one that Demon's Raw wants to give them. They want to be able to take them the distance at least every time that they end up meeting up.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, while this win might not mean as much as some other ones, there's still a pretty big prize pool, right? Still pretty big prize pool and bragging rights, right? Demon's Raw don't want to lose this. They don't want to lose twice in a row to Sad Boys, just be considered that second place team when earlier on in that regular season of NASL, they were considered the best team, right? Everyone was scared of them. Everyone paid them so much respect. And now, I mean, we're seeing them look a little human in these last couple days/weeks of play. And can Sad Boys be the ones kind of ascending to godhood? Maybe they already have. Who knows? We'll have to see as something goes here. And now hover from Vaughn, but I believe that's just what he's been hovering this whole time, so I don't think we'll be seeing it, as a Finny ban is completely correct on that one, Gordo. They will be taking that away.
Yeah, this has been what they've been going for on this map for the last few times they've been on it, and the Amy ban.
Amy ban, okay.
For the side of Demons, so let's see what they go for. They're hovering the double brawler era comp for the side of the Sad Boys right now. The Junior's gonna get locked in. That might be what they're going for.
No. Not like this. Vaughn's thinking about it. No, he's gonna do it for sure.
Yeah, what happens now when it becomes not only what one team is picking, but now it's full on the meta? There's eras for both sides. Yeah, they're both going for it. It's double like era goalie, quadra brawler. We're in the new era of Night Market, Borg, and it's all about combat.
And it's Super Surge, Spark of Resilience. It'll be both eras taking Super Surge and Kainoob on the Zentaro taking Super Surge, with everybody else taking Spark of Resilience. This is just ridiculous. And I kind of can't wait to see it, Gordo, as we're getting started into this game.
Let's fight it out, man. I'm a big Brawler fan. If you're coming in here as a fan of any other MOBA, this will be a little bit more what you're used to. We're throwing core control and fielding off the side of the map here. We are looking all in towards these guys, fighting it out, looking for these KOs, and see who's going to be able to find it. Is pretty smooth start here from both sides. Magical Maelstrom going to come on across to try to carry it in towards Demon's Ra. They are going to be able to find the first of the barriers as a result. Worth noting, there's a slight difference in the X versus the Zentaro. Zentaro, of course, going for that Super Surge. Can't resist it. Vaughn going to be opting for the Spark of Resilience on that X, and so far, it looks like Kainoob taking a lot of damage as a result. Doesn't have that extra resistance on his brawler, and Vaughn still sitting pretty at full HP. As Bell's just going to take the easy shot up against Gumi. Gumi getting a little bit nervous that he's about to get dash punched off the side of the map.
Yeah, actually, I think what happened is he went down just in case Bells tried to fake him out and hit a down shot or something, but no reason to do that there, as Bells had that free goal on that top side no matter what. And something to note here, actually, a little bit of a funny little thing, if people might know, and Bell's actually getting that barrier using core flip, but here's what I say is you get the barrier for the core flip. Doesn't matter if it correlated or not, you got it, so it's okay. As, I mean, there's no time for me to yap, as this game is just freaking... What do you expect with Double Brawler, right? Just everybody is dying, everybody is brawling. I don't even know what's happening. Gumi just trying to save everything, but one thing that I think I do know is that Vaughn definitely has a lot more X games than Kainoob does on Zentaro, so something to think about here. Has been playing it in in-houses recently, is on his brawler mode, as we like to call it in our little Hilo in-house server. He's was on goalie mode a couple weeks ago, and now he's on brawler mode, so I don't really know what he's cooking, but Snake definitely not letting him cook too much as he gets that barrier.
Another attempted KO off the top. They are eventually going to find it. The two joining forces, Bells and Vaughn, take Snake off the map, and now it's all on Kainoob on this kind of midfield-esque Zentaro to try to keep up the defense alongside Gumi. Vaughn going to go in for the Bell Ringer, not quite going to end up finding it off the Bull Rush, and now the Flame Flurry going to get dissuaded away once again. A nice core flip from You Already Lose. Snags it away from Kainoob while he's looking for the rush, but he's still got the slashing strike. Not quite going to be able to find it there either. And now it's all on to Snake to be able to move it on in. Bell's going to be able to push forward on towards Gumi. You Already Lose looking to pass down towards the bottom side, but Snake still able to clear it back on out with the Flame Flurry and has that open goal to shoot towards. Hasn't quite been able to put all the pieces together. Even with that Super Surge, Kainoob's got all the mobility, but not going to be able to find it. There's going to be another KO found for the side of Demon's Ra. They look to fight back in series number 1. Going forward, Kainoob has the shot potentially. Still good defense from You Already Lose. Gumi coming up for the backup to keep boosting up the Brawlers, but the respawn from Bells is here, and Bells is back with a vengeance, looking to get the Flurry on towards 2. It's been Gumi trying on the defense and still able to keep it on up, but they're finally going to lose their second barrier. Magical Maelstrom to clear it back on out, but the defense here has been immutable from the Sad Boys. Vaughn going to get stuffed there up against Snake, looking for the guaranteed shot. Can't find it off the Bull Rush. Kainoob with the last second defense. They got no goalie, but the two Brawlers have managed to keep their goal standing, but no longer. Finally, Bells is going to sneak it through with a good shot placement from Vaughn.
Hey, forwards in the net, to taking it to a whole new meaning here. Not even, I mean, Zentaro goalie, question mark? I mean, had one good save, but the problem is that when you don't have those abilities, I mean, just so difficult to actually defend, and with Bells having that punch up, manages to hit stun Snake to allow that goal to go in. Bells now looking here, great strike from Gumi to keep that away from that Fiery Fist, or Fiery Flurry, rather, from Bells, and Vaughn kind of just hitting it back there. So a lot of just midfield back and forth, and a lot of brawling so far this game, until something crazy happens. And will something crazy happen here? In a little bit. Bells with that core flip now on there, going to be getting that last barrier, but gets his own in return, as You Already Lose was not quite in position. Has the core flip just in case, but you know, will he go to clear? Oh, core flip's on the goal line, hitting it to Bells. Now Bells with a little bit of a shrinking moment, as not able to do much, but Sad Boys on the offense are trying to score.
Going back onto the hands of Kainoob. He's been able to get some good setups here so far, but hasn't yet been able to convert one into a goal. Has access to that Super Surge for the additional dash range going on forward. Here goes the core flip, here goes the slashing strike, and there's the goal. Kainoob finds it on his own.
Yeah, Kainoob definitely doing a great little combo there off the core flip. Well played to him. But it's 2-1 in this first set. We saw how last game went. It was 2-0 for Sad Boys, and Demons took them all the way back up to 2-2 before Sad Boys ended up winning that first set. So if history tends to repeat itself like it usually ends up doing, we'll maybe see a bit of a 2-2, but maybe not, as Bells already gets that double barrier off the dash punch. Well played.
It's a twofer there off the back of Bells, and they're going to be able to find what else they can. Kainoob, a little bit of an aggressive angle here while Snake is looking to regen back on up some of that stagger, and was able to find one barrier for it. Can he turn it into the other? The clear back on over towards Gumi. Gumi going to be able to sneak it past Vaughn. Still has access to that core flip as well for the follow-up defense. Gets the size increase on towards Kainoob, but there's the shrink right back, and there's the KO found by Bells. Kainoob's off the map, and this is an opportunity to close it out right here and now. The counter flip from Vaughn, and it's all over for the first set. Sad Boys going to be able to find it.
Vaughn and Bells putting on an offensive clinic right there, as we just saw. They covered literally every single option that Gumi had to clear that out after the core flip. We saw Bells with the Fiery Flurry, plus the punch, plus that strike, including, you know, Vaughn with that core flip and the strike as well with the ultimate. So not really much Gumi could have done there. There was possibly a little pixel he might have been able to clear that through, but so incredibly difficult when you have two brawlers in your face like that. And now look at these awakenings. We got the twin drive from You Already Lose, going to be helping speed up his brawlers a little bit better. Quick strikes onto Gumi, which might not matter too much as Demolitionist now. The oh so scary training, 25% size and a cooldown reduction of 8 every time a barrier is grabbed. And then Vaughn getting that spark, that second spark now coming over for Vaughn is going to be feeling so tanky, so fast, and Bells is going to be unstoppable once you start getting those barriers. I have a feeling Sad Boys, it's almost inevitable at this point, but maybe Demons will have something in their pocket to win this one.
They're going to have to pull something out of their pocket because, yeah, as you saw, just an easy first barrier there found by Vaughn. Bells gets the boost up, and now Bells going to be all the more dangerous for it. There's still going to be another one to be found, and now it's almost like it's a resource for the Sad Boys just as much as it is for Demon's Rods. It's just going to boost up your brawler even further, at least the Julie, that is, as they're going to be able to clear it back on up off the top side. A full-on 3-on-3 brawl up in this tiny little corner of Night Market. Now going to be eventually favoring Snake as Snake manages to find the second barrier open on up the goal. Gumi's been channeling the magical Maelstrom, but can't push it any further forward. Snake now dueling with Vaughn, who's in the X Maximus, and now Vaughn going to end up at a little bit lower HP, but Bells finds the KO over on the other side. Kainoob is off the map, and that core flip almost going to net them that follow-up barrier, but Bells isn't ready to give up on it just yet. Will be able to find it, will be able to get the reset. He's got the cooldowns, he's looking for the KO on Gumi, and the shot from Vaughn will go through. 1-0 in set number 2. The pressure from Boys is relentless.
Yeah, and once they got that first KO, it was like almost, I mean, guaranteed at that point that they're getting the goal. It was great defense from Snake and Gumi for a while, but it's just so difficult, you know, when you have that X who's just so huge running in front of you, and the Julie with size has that Demolitionist as well. I mean, just so little clear opportunities to have, and Demon's playing well so far, having that double barrier early on, but Bells has his cooldowns back from that Demolitionist, gonna be putting in a lot of pressure here in the corner, but a great ultimate from the Zentaro, but the Bell Ringer gonna be taking away the Zentaro there, as the dash actually sends him off of the map. The Zentaro blink just pulling, I mean, just giving it such a hard time for Kainoob here, as Bells and Vaughn now on the power play.
Yeah, just a disastrous situation there for Kainoob, and now with the second barrier found, Bells has the core flip, doesn't find the core. A rare mistake there from Bells might end up giving you a little bit of space to play with for Demon's Roz. Gumi taking a huge shot from Bells, but going to be able to remain standing when all is said and done. Vaughn now coming in for the collapse, but it sneaks on by him. Snake had an opportunity to try to push it up against You Already Lose the clear back out once again as Bells trying to go back and receive it. Snake has the core flip. Snake has a little bit of an opportunity here up against the goalie. One-on-one. Snake pushes it through.
Yeah, Vaughn switching up, you know, trying to keep pressure on Gumi with that X Maximus that he popped. Thought, hey, maybe Bells will come back and play a little bit of midfield, but maybe not super comfortable in that role. And with Snake having core flips, so hard to play it, as finds it right in front of the goal there and just perfectly finds that dash with the core flip into the goal here. And Kainoob almost gets both the barriers there off of the Zentaro ultimate. The Oni's Blade not really doing too much there, though, and the end of things. Snake getting the barrier at the end of the day, but Bells and Vaughn back on the offense already are looking for an offensive play here, as the bottom barrier will just barely get saved there from Gumi.
They're going to be able to open up one barrier. That's the first refresh for Bells. The core flip comes through from Kainoob to clear it back out. But You Already Lose has a flip of his own to be able to send it back on out. Now Snake taking a fair bit of damage, has to be careful. Hanging up towards this topside blast zone. Another barrier for Bells means more cooldowns back for Bells, but the barrier found on the other side means that goal is going to be open, and Snake is looking to take some shots. Kainoob is there for the backup, but Kainoob is now gone, as Vaughn is going to have to use his own flip to clear it back out. But Bells now one-on-one with Gumi, has the flip available, just needs to get the core back into his hands. It's Snake back onto the map to try to clear it back on out, but the Flame Flurry is going to force him into the elusive, and now Bells has the flip, has the punch, doesn't quite get the shot, and Kainoob is back in time to be able to keep up the save, but Vaughn will finally send it home and take us to 2-1.
Yeah, Vaughn just so crucially managing to get back up to that top side in time. Bells didn't get the goal off that core flip, but got the KO onto Gumi, and so they were able to finally get that in right after, you know, the core comes right back up, and a dash punch into a punch as well from Vaughn, and I believe there was an arrow beam somewhere in there as well. Now Bells with Demolition is getting both barriers, has that dash punch, should be right back up here momentarily, and Gumi now looking really in trouble, but Snake with a great strike as they spawn in order to save it, and now Demon's Raw are on the offensive.
Yeah, Demon's Raw trying to push it forward. Snake with the dash punch nearly gets it in. That Flying Phoenix almost found its mark, but Vaughn is able to keep up the defense alongside You Already Lose. Magical Maelstrom coming out across. You Already Lose now with a speed boost, trying to get into the hands of Bells. Gumi going to be able to clear it up towards the top side, but Vaughn is already waiting. There's the Flame Flurry. They clear it out of there just in time, and the slashing strike into the Oni's Blade. Kainoob try to convert this single-handedly. He gets the core flip, and he does it. 2-2 in set number 2. Demons Ra not saying die.
Yeah, great core flip there from Kainoob, and I mean, the energy bursts really have been saving, it feels like, Demons Raw on a lot of these points, where they'll just get pressured all point long, somehow manage to get both of the barriers due to some, some maybe little mistake from You Already Lose or good play from Snake, and then someone with a core flip will manage to save the point, even though Vaughn and Bells are just relentless with this pressure so far in the game. Core flip now from Snake to just relieve a little bit of that pressure, but I don't know how much it's going to matter when it's already back on the bottom side now with Bells.
Yeah, an attempted flip there from Snake, ends up ricocheting off of the corner, doesn't find any barriers, and now the opened up goal for the Sad Boys as they are looking to take this to set point. There's going to be the KO found by Bells in the bottom corner, and Kainoob's got his work cut out for him now. Has the slashing strike, doesn't land, it has to rush backwards, but it's too little and it's too late. Gumi's 1 versus 2, can't defend it. 3-2 set for the Sad Boys. They are 1 set away from winning the whole thing.
And while, like I said, maybe I'm wrong, but while I don't like Double Brawler right now, especially on this map or maybe on this map, I don't know, with Zentaro Julie, I think, is infinitely worse of a combo than than X Julie. At least X Julie, they have some combo potential, but Zentaro, it feels a lot harder to combo off of Julie dash punches for the KO, right? And now, Vaughn with that Spark of Strength, gonna be getting triple Spark now this game, and even if they lose this set, should have an opportunity to now become the mayor, so going to be feeling real happy. You Already Lose getting that cast to last as well, and Bells getting that stacks on stacks. So while Kainoob does get the tempo swing and bulk up for Snake, a little bit, of win here, I'd say overall, I think that Bells and Vaughn definitely got the later end of that trade, or the better part of that trade rather, as, Bells didn't get the better part of that KO as he's going down right away.
Yeah, Vaughn's won the primary at the minimum. He's pretty close, right? He's on the last leg and has very much been able to secure himself 3 of those sparks, and now is such a big threat on this X. You'll love just having a big pile of stats on your X, and that's exactly what Vaughn has got for himself here. Going to be able to clear it back on out towards Bells, and there's going to be that Flame Flurry from Bells once again to be able to move in on one of the barriers, and that's going to refresh the cooldowns and set up for them to do it all over again. It's the composition that's been playing out over and over again for the Sad Boys the whole game long, and they are trying to piece it together yet again here. Vaughn still very high on Stagger, trying to take it up towards the top, does have the core flip available, and deals out tons of damage. There's the flip. Gumi going to be able to send it right back around, but You Already Lose ready to receive. It's in Bells' hands now as they try to clear it past him. The Bull Rush nearly finds it. The KO is gotten by Bells off of the rush, and now they're going to be able to move forward. Vaughn going to be able to shoot it up into the top, and that's going to be a 1-0 score line. The Sad Boys, 2 more to go.
And a beautiful passing play from the entire team there. A little bit of a team goal as You Already Lose back to Bells. Bells with a goalie pass back to You Already Lose. Then back to Bells, up to Vaughn into that top corner. That was kind of a beautiful little thing to see there as Bells realized, I don't have cooldowns here. It's not really my job to score. Let's just get it around the goalie and try to take advantage of this power play. So love to see that, especially, in the possible last set, right? As we see Demons Raw, they're not done yet though, as they get both barriers early, but we've seen this time and time again in these sets, and they still haven't been able to convert in a lot of points. So maybe we'll see it, maybe we won't, as now Kainoob gets taken down already.
Nowhere with a space to play for Kainoob, taken off once again on the Zentaro. They are now looking to push for these barriers once again. They've had their goal opened up for a while. It was a good early start for Demons Raw, and it's not over yet. Snake could try to get them with the breakaway here, but it's actually in the hands of Bells, and Bells now going to look to take Kainoob off the map right as soon as they come back. Gumi taking a big flurry outside of the goal arc, nearly gets taken out themselves. There's the clear out. There's the score from Bells, 2-0. We are on match series tournament point board.
Yeah, I mean, we're about to see some craziness on Demon Raw's map pick. Just almost, not quite a 9-0, but a 3-0 in sets from the Sad Boys. And it seems like Demons Raw, even though they're having good starts to these sets, it just feels like they're just getting grinded down, especially by this X who has so much HP, so much speed, and so much strength from these sparks. It's just only a matter of time, it feels like, for the Sad Boys to score, but Snake now, maybe with this core flip, can try to turn it around, but not really going to find anything for it, as Bells and Vaughn are going to be getting this last barrier. But no, the great dash from Kainoob actually being able to save it.
stuff there from Kai Noob as Vaughn now going to be the one who has it in the bottom corner. Bell's very low on HP. You already lose. Trying to protect the barrier. Not going to be able to find it. Snake with an opportunity to score. Push forward. 2 members from Demon's Raw trying to keep their tournament lives alive here, but can't quite do it yet. Kai Noob dribbling it to themselves. Going in for the Oni's Blade. Shooting it down towards the bottom. The slashing strike as well. And they sneak it past You Already Lose into the bottom corner.
Yeah, I mean, Kai Noob, Season 2 NASL MVP, trying to show that, you know, I can do it on the Zentaro too. He doesn't need to be playing those midfielder characters to, you know, play well, as, you know, still going to be a very big uphill battle here. They got 1 point, but they're going to need 2 more for the set, and then another 6 to even take this game. And then after that, they're going to need more. They're going to need 3 more map wins, so very, very difficult stuff here, but it's not impossible. I've seen crazier things happen. But Vaughn and Bells coming on the offensive here. Gumi has the core flip, so Bells does not KO, but Kai Noob going to be finding another barrier. Kai Noob, it seems like, is the saving grace of this team, but Bells with that Demolition takes out 1 barrier, and now Vaughn hitting it in with that X Maximus, going to be hitting it right past all members of Demon's Raw, and they're going to take the tournament. The Afreeca champions, the Season 2 NASL champions, Sad Boys are on top right now.
Sad Boys looking more dominant now than they looked in Winners Finals, looking more dominant now than they looked in the NASL Finals. They are really coming into themselves here and have absolutely dominated competitive Omega Strikers in North America now for months on end. Great run here from the Sad Boys, and they are going to add another trophy to the cabinet.
Yeah, and I mean, it seems like it's kind of the Sad Boys era right now. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they looked... It's hard to really say this, Gordo, because I don't think that both teams... Like, they were definitely playing seriously, playing for the money, but I don't think this meant quite as much to them as they were more trying to experiment, try to figure out the meta a little bit more, as we saw in this last game with the double brawler. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not. We'll have to see in these liftoffs and launch pads, but regardless, it seems like Bells kind of getting the edge on Snake a little bit. Once again, those 10 KOs on Bells compared to Snake with just that 1 KO, you know. Might have been a little bit because it's a lot more damage from the X, but I don't know. I mean, it just seemed like Sad Boys just kind of had their number today.
Yeah, no, an absolutely beautiful tournament run from the Sad Boys, and, you know, props to Demon's Raw, right? They showed themselves, even while trialing different stuff from both of these two teams. These are definitely the top 2 teams in competitive Omega Strikers in North America right now. They were able to take on all comers. They were able to beat up every bit of competition that showed up to take them down. And even while trialing different stuff, these 2 are clearly the ones who are on top. Demon's Raw, though, end up taking the L on the day after defeating the Bozo Bunch, after defeating everybody on the winner's side up until the Sad Boys. And now the Sad Boys going to take it handedly to close on out the night, to earn themselves that first place prize.
Yeah, and I mean, congrats to Sad Boys. Congrats to Bozo Bunch. I'm going to reiterate that again, getting that 3rd place after being, what, 14th seed, 15th seed, something crazy. So what played to them for getting 3rd place? And Demons, obviously, you know, we like to make fun of the number 2s for some reason, even though it's still 2nd place and they're still better than everybody here in this chat, and including us, right? So we can't really give them too much trouble. Definitely still going to be happy with that 2nd place. Maybe not happy with it, but they're going to be happy, you know, getting to the finals regardless. So that's it for us at the end of the day. So things to look out for everyone after this Afreeca tournament. November 4th, we're going to be having the first launchpad for NASL Season 3 coming in here. The first qualifier is going to be huge, so make sure you are there. That will be this upcoming Saturday, and then we will be having another one on November 14th as well for those who didn't quite make the first launchpad or, you know, might need a second chance. So definitely catch those, and then after that, it will be liftoff for, you know, against those relegated teams and with all the people that qualified through launchpad. So definitely going to be craziness coming up. Definitely make sure you're here as much as we are live, because we will be live and we'll have plenty of games for you guys to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you know, link it back here before we close things out, right? What a great run there for the Bozo Bunch. We saw great runs from plenty of NASA teams over the course of this tournament. That should get you excited for what liftoff is going to look like and what Launchpad is going to look like, as these teams, they have a real legitimate shot to be able to qualify for the North American Strikers League, to be able to play against teams like Demons Raw and the Sad Boys week in and week out and see what they can grow into over that time. Because until then, it is going to be the Sad Boys world that the rest of us are living in. But as you said, Borg, that is going to do it for tonight's stream and for this weekend's tournament. Thank you to Afreeca for hosting and for sponsoring this event. Thank you to everybody involved in production, but from myself, from Borg, and from Saya, who's producing right now. Thank you all again for tuning in. We're going to see you next time.